was the head coach for boys and girls ball, boys and girls cross country, and baseball, with many of his athletes advancing to the state competitions. He retired from full-time teaching and coaching in 2020, but continues to serve the district by teaching Alpha Central and working at sporting events at both KHS and Sherrard. On current occasions, this Boilermaker is still a familiar face at Kiwanee events, supporting students and athletes alike. This Boilermaker also comes from a proud Kiwanee legacy. His parents, Ken and Chris, are both KHS graduates. His mother went on to teach for many years in the district. His wife, Susan, and their siblings are KHS graduates, as are his siblings, and together he and Katie raised their children, Julie, Nate, Mitch, and Ben, all graduates of KHS as well. His daughter Julie now teaches at KHS, and his son Nate is actively involved in coaching and supporting athletics. These days, this Boilermaker enjoys traveling to Wisconsin Dells with Susan and her family, golfing, and spending time with his grandchildren, Claire, Owen, and Faith. Please welcome this year's honorary Boilermaker to the stage, Mr. Kirk Bigdown.
Hey, you can't really hear the video, there's a ton of static.
Thank you. This is truly exciting. I'm really excited to celebrate this event. I also want to thank this for allowing me to co-host. Good work. I met a lot of really, really great people, really great people. And this is, I really appreciate it. And really, I have one more thing to say. Let's go, Boilermakers.
Our next honorary Boilermaker will officially retire for the second time on October 15, 2025, closing out more than 3 decades of service to the Kiwanee School District. His journey began in 1991 as a baseball coach at Kiwanee School District. From 1991 to 1993, he taught junior high math and at Mountain Grade School before returning to Kiwanee in 1993, where he taught at Central Junior High until his retirement in May 2015. He was deeply involved in both academics and athletics, coaching football, track, girls basketball at Central Junior High, and golf and baseball at Kiwanee High School. Beyond teaching and coaching, he also served as a school ghostwriter, a role he continued even after retirement. He also has worked the scoreboard for basketball and football games for the past 27 years. He earned his bachelor's degree from Western Illinois University in 1991 and later completed his master's degree at St. Xavier University in 1999. His connection to Kiwanee runs deep. His parents, Bev and John, were both KHS graduates, with his father serving 12 years on the school board. His siblings also graduated from KHS, and together with his late wife, Lynn, he raised 3 children, Jackie, John David, and Jennifer, all proud Boilermakers themselves. His daughter, Jennifer, teaches at Central Junior High, while his daughter, Jackie, works as a social worker in the district. He is also the proud grandfather of 5, Theo, Elliot, Sawyer, and Bodie, the oldest 4 of whom are current Kiwanee students. Today he enjoys spending time with his partner, Noah. This honorary Boilermaker's contributions to the Kiwanee School District and the community are immeasurable. He has not only taught and coached, but also served in many other capacities, also going above and beyond to support the students and the school. The countless lives he has touched and the positive impact he has made will continue to be felt for years to come. Congratulations to this year's honorary Boilermaker, Mr. Dave Spatz.
Thank you very much for this award. There's one other grandchild that was left out, Mason. I really appreciate this. I didn't think it was coming at all, but today's a great day to be a Boilermaker, and hopefully tonight is a better night to be a Boilermaker.
This year's honorary Boilermaker recipient is a man whose dedication, passion, and service have shaped generations of Peabody High School students. A 1984 graduate of Geneseo High School, he spent 6 years farming alongside his father, raising corn, cattle, and hogs. During that time, he volunteered with the Geneseo Junior High Wrestling Program, laying the foundation for a lifetime of service to young people. It was Geneseo High School wrestling coach Larry Hinkey who encouraged him to take classes at Blackhawk College to become a teacher and coach. He transferred to Southern Illinois University at Ursula in the fall of 1990, where he joined the SIU wrestling team. He worked closely with legendary coach Larry Christoph, assisting with practices, wrestling meets, and team organization. His leadership and dedication earned him a scholarship during his senior year, and he graduated in 1993. Following graduation, he returned to farming while substitute teaching in Geneseo before moving to Pawpaw High School and Cahokia High School. In 1998, Peabody High School was fortunate enough to welcome him, and we have been the better for it ever since. In his time at KHS, he has taught driver education, coached football, wrestling, and track, served as an athletic director, and captured countless memories through his photography at nearly every event. His impact, however, cannot be measured by job titles or bullet points. If you have earned your driver's license, it's probably because of him. If you have ever played a sport or attended an extracurricular activity, it's because of his commitment. If you've seen an unforgettable picture on our walls, it was likely through his lens. Beyond his professional contributions, he has embodied the true spirit of a Boilermaker, dressing in head-to-toe form at assembly, docking candy with stressed-out teachers and students, sharing a good conversation with anyone who needs it, and always putting others before himself. He has spent his career encouraging students and athletes and colleagues to be their very best, never asking for anything in return. Simply put, he has lived and breathed the Boilermaker tradition. His retirement this year will leave a void he cannot fill, but his legacy will remain an enduring part of Peabody High School. It is with great pride and deep gratitude that we honor Mr. Tim Atwell as this year's honorary Boilermaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for coming tonight. I want to thank the organization, the administration, teachers, staff for the support. Very, very humbling. I can't thank everybody enough. Go Boilers.
For some, retirement is a time to slow down, to step away from public life. But for this honorary Boilermaker, retiring from the U.S. Postal Service after 28 years in 2005, and from bus driving for the Peabody School District in 2017, only created new opportunities for service. He simply rerouted his path, choosing to continue dedicating his time and talents to the place he's always called home. A proud 1968 Peabody High School graduate, this Boilermaker's commitment to our school began long ago. As a student, he was an active member of the Letterman's Club, Student Council, and Key Club, and even served as captain of the golf team. His love for sports and our students is clearly part of his DNA. After his official retirement from bus driving, this Boilermaker's presence at school events has been more consistent and more reliable than a mail carrier's route. Just look at his track record. He's played at cross-country meets, softball games, and track meets. He's a regular fixture at football and basketball events. He even ran the scoreboard and taught at visitation school events for many years, where he was always in the stands to support his own kids. For the last 15 years, this honorary Boilermaker has been a consistent face behind the clock for a KHS home football game, boys basketball game, in girls volleyball games. He has also announced the girls and boys basketball and helped with cross country and golf leagues. And when he's not getting back to the schools, you can find him on the golf course playing at least 5 times a week. His family, all KHS graduates, are a testament to his legacy. The love of his life, Teresa, was met at the Little League concession stand while he was umpiring. A fitting start for a man so dedicated to community athletics. Together they've raised 3 children, Beth, Brooke, and Brittany, and now have 6 grandchildren, Allie, Kinley, Brayden, Jason, Hayden, and Kevin. One of the most telling stories about this honorary Boilermaker's character came during his daughter Brooke's high school years. At an event in Rock Island, he was given a fan good sportsmanship award. On the very same night, Brooke received the award as a player. It's a wonderful example of how he leads by example, demonstrating integrity and positivity for everyone to see. But perhaps the most endearing detail about this honorary Boilermaker is revealed by his grandchildren, who whenever something breaks, simply say, "Don't worry, Papa can fix it." On behalf of Kiwanee School District, we thank you. Let's bring this honorary Boilermaker to the stage, Mr. Dave Briner.
Thank you. I also would like to thank the Board of Education. Going with this class is really special. There's 3 special men down there that I've done a lot with over the years. I did 2 things good at Kiwanee High School. I graduated, and I was fortunate enough to marry the 1970 homecoming team. I told the football team and Coach Taylor at the assembly this morning that if you can win homecoming, it's a memory you will remember for the rest of your life. And I honestly believe tonight we're going to turn things around. We're going to win. We're going to beat Sherrard. Go Boilermakers.
Now we are happy to announce this year's homecoming attendance. Next up, we have freshman attendants Elias Warrington and Sherrard Riker. Aaliyah is the daughter of Melissa Stalzer and Nick Swearington. She is an active and dedicated student. She proudly represents her school through her involvement in volleyball, wrestling, and softball. Outside of athletics, Aaliyah loves spending time with her friends and family. A fun fact about her is that she owns 3 snakes, which reflects Aaliyah's adventurous spirit. Trip Riker is the son of Jamie and Ryan Riker. He has a strong passion for agriculture, spending much of his time working on the family farm, showing cattle, competing in FFA and 4-H events, and playing Boilermaker football. Trip's hard work ethic shines on the field, in the classroom, or in the shoulder. A fun fact about Trip is that he proudly owns his very own herd of cows, a responsibility that reflects his love for farming.
Next up, we have our sophomore attendants, Adam Yepsen and Helena Martinez Soto. Adam Yepsen is the son of Mike Yepsen and the late Julie Yepsen. He is a very well-rounded student who is actively involved in Boilermaker football, baseball, and key clubs. Adam values time with his family and friends, enjoying the moments that memories bring. A fact about Adam is that he stands at 6 feet tall. Jimena Martinez Soto is the daughter of Maria Miranda Soto and Fabian Miranda. She is an active member of her school community through key clubs, comms, and crafts. She enjoys dancing and spending time with her family and friends. A fun fact about Jimena is that her first language is Spanish.
Now we have our junior attendants, Natalia Bond Moran and Camden Hicks. Natalia Bond Moran is the daughter of Daniel Bond and Jose Moran. As a spirited and dedicated student, Natalia showcases her school's pride through her involvement in Key Club, cheerleading, and culture art. She thrives on being surrounded by friends and making memories through extracurriculars. A fun fact about Natalia is that she has a turtle named Yuri, and her cousin is fellow student Hayden Conley. Camden is the son of Sarah Hewitt and Lee Hicks. He is an involved student who represents his school through football. In his free time, Cam enjoys being with his family, especially playing cards and board games with his cousins. A fun fact about Camden is that he has the unique ability to twist his tongue into the shape of a clover leaf.
Now for our senior attendance. First we have Caitlin Carton and Osvaldo Sanchez. Osvaldo Sanchez is the son of Fabiola Castellanon and Nicholas Sanchez. He is a dedicated athlete involved in football, wrestling, and key club. In his free time, Osvaldo enjoys playing with his dog, hanging out with friends, and competing in Clash Royale. After graduation, he plans to study mechanical engineering at St. Ambrose University, combining his love for problem solving with a promising future in engineering. Caitlin Carton is the daughter of Karen and Randy Carton, a highly involved student. Caitlin participates in FFA, Key Club, National Honor Society, volleyball, and cheerleading, showcasing both their leadership and school spirit. In her free time, she enjoys running, hanging out with friends, grabbing a coffee, and making memories with her family at dinner. After graduation, Caitlin plans to attend a university to major in marketing with a minor in sports communication, aiming for a future where creativity and athletics collide.
Up next, we have Taylor Van Winkle and Griffin Hicks. Taylor Van Winkle is the daughter of Kelly and James Van Winkle. She is a dedicated student who is actively involved in Key Club, volleyball, student council, and FCA. She enjoys reading, running, and spending time with her friends. Taylor is also passionate about helping others, which inspires her future goal of attending college to become a nurse. Griffin Hicks is the son of Sarah Hicks and Joey Hicks. Griffin is an active student athlete involved in baseball and basketball, but also contributing to the community through football. When he's not on the field or court, Griffin enjoys playing poker with his cousins and in friendly competition with family time. After high school, he plans to study kinesiology, pursuing a career focused on sports and human movement.
Finally, we have our homecoming queens and queens, Azucena Tabata and Jaime Revilla. Azucena Tabata is the daughter of Esther Aguilar and Noé Tabata. Azucena is a dedicated member of the school band and enjoys expressing herself in music. In her free time, she loves swimming, shopping, and spending time with her friends. After high school, Azucena plans to attend a 2-year program to become a perinatal sonographer, with hopes to make an impact in the lives of growing families. Jaime Revilla is the son of Angelica Revilla. Jaime is a versatile student involved in football, basketball, track, band, and key club. He is a talented cook who claims that he can make any dish 10 times better. And he's also the best Clash Royale player in school. When he's not gaming or cooking, Jaime loves hanging out with friends, whether it's dumping on everyone at Whatnot, hitting the great news at the driving range, or grabbing some grub at McDonald's. Jaime plans to attend college to major in kinesiology to become an athletic trainer. I would now like to welcome Katie Carton and Katie Taylor to the microphone.
want to start off by thanking everybody for coming tonight to support us, all for the votes in the season. I so enjoyed having a great first week here. I also want to give a shout out to the fans and cheer team, the Palms, for bringing that school spirit that we did. A lot. I also want to give a shout out to Coach Adler and Larry, guys behind the scenes. Our hard work doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate them a lot. Let's have a nice remember here at KHS Stadium tonight. Catch the dub. Go Williams.
Congratulations, this year's homecoming court. Now Boilermakers, let's go get that win.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 homecoming court. If you haven't already done so, please remember to pick up your motions at the concession stand. And if you'd like one, there's still some available for $10. Pick up your motions at the concession stand. If you haven't got one yet, they're available at the concession stand for $10. Sherrard is on the toss to take the third. Ronnie will receive.
But if you want to know, yeah.
And a very pleasant good evening to everyone from Kewanee High School's football stadium. It is homecoming football tonight as the Kewanee Boilermakers will play host to the Sherrard Tigers. And a very, very festive evening already unfolding here at the Kewanee High School Stadium. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob McKee along with Steve Osborne. And very nice to have you with us here on this Friday evening. We're wishing one and all a very pleasant good evening. And, oh, my friend, good to see you, as always.
As always, Bob. That's the perfect words right there.
There you go. Homecoming it is. A very, very festive evening. And a pretty nice crowd here tonight. And we'll see how things turn out. But, Steve, as you pointed out a few minutes ago, the weather is absolutely perfect.
It is. It's not too hot, not too cold, clear skies, not too windy. It's perfect Friday night for football.
It really is. Autumn seems to be here. And for those of us that had had enough of summer and are ready for autumn, indeed, that is a great development.
I wish it was like this year-round.
Oh, buddy.
Right
I got a schedule I'll run by you here in a couple of days when we have more time on our hands, and I'm guessing you'll enjoy what I'm going to say. Remind me of that one.
I will do that.
My weather in heaven. Just remember that, and I'll explain it.
Okay.
In any event, let's also explain that we have some Boiler Booster live stream sponsors who are making this possible. Also great contributions to our Jumbotron in the gymnasium, but they include Breedlove Sporting Goods in downtown Kewanee. Also, Ed Morris Automotive Group, Chevy and GM of Kewanee. Hammond Henry Hospital, Geneseo and Kewanee. Union Federal Savings and Loan. Goods Furniture of Kewanee. The State Bank of Toulon. Gustafson Ford of Kewanee. OSF St. Luke Medical Center in Kewanee. Great Dane of Kewanee. Community State Bank, Galva and Kewanee. Kewanee Physical Therapy and Rehab Specialist. Martin Engineering of Neponsit, the Kewanee Schools Foundation, also Edward Jones in downtown Kewanee, Cernovich's Auto and Truck Wrecking of Kewanee, the People's National Bank, Cerno's Bar and Grill, and Coco's Coffee Shop, both in downtown Kewanee, and also by the Mel Foster Company. Thanks to those wonderful sponsors. Again, our Boiler Booster live stream sponsors. But once again, everybody, I'm Bob McKee along with Steve Osborne, and nice to have you with us on this beautiful fall evening. And Steve, it is homecoming, and it's a very, very exciting time. The unfortunate truth of the matter is, though, it's been a difficult season for both of these teams. They both come in with records of 0-6, and certainly for Boilermaker faithful, you're familiar with the way things have gone tonight. And over the course of the years, we've seen homecoming work both ways. Sometimes teams get too caught up in the hoopla of the moment and lose focus. Other times, it can pull you together.
That's true, and the one good thing for Kewanee is they're home tonight against another 0-6 team, but like you said, if homecoming kind of overtakes them a little bit and they think about that more than the game, you know, as a coach, that really concerns you. Hopefully they focus on this, and then they go have their fun at the dance tomorrow night and, you know, and whatever, and hopefully they had a good time all week, because that's really what it's all about. But when it comes time to play ball, you got to play ball.
Absolutely, and I've said this for many years, but you know, you're going to have the festivities, you're going to have the homecoming dance, but if you can get the victory on the football field the night before, somehow the punch tastes sweeter and the girls look prettier than at that dance the next night.
That's true, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I see that you've been studying from the Book of Solomon, apparently. But in any event,
I don't want to open mouth and insert foot or anything like that.
Well, well, it's a dazzling event. There's no question about it. But in any event, Steve, does a season like 0-6, again, both of these clubs unfortunately suffering that particular fate, does that wear on a team after a while, or do you just say, look, last week was tough, yes, but let's go get them this week?
Well, you know, I think it does, but now that obviously either one of these teams can make the playoffs, they're both out of that picture, now they can hopefully just settle down, play football. You know, one of them's going to get a win. Hopefully it's the Boilers, but I was thinking about this earlier. Actually, for them, it's now, you know, the seniors are great. They're here, and they want to finish strong, but as coaches, you're kind of looking at next year already.
Yeah.
You want to see the character of your guys, what you got, who's going to play, who really wants to play when it, to be honest, doesn't matter, except that it is homecoming. And then you want to see who's going to fit in next year and kind of start building already.
You know, I'm kind of curious looking down on the field as the Boilers are getting their pregame warm-ups down here on the south end. Right now, working from the shotgun, Lane Taylor is taking all the snaps.
I noticed that, yeah. Instead of Ince is the normal. Isaiah
Ince, yeah, he's number 2. And looking up and down the line, they're hard to see everybody, but we're not seeing him out there, at least right now, in the pregame running with the starters. So that could be a big deal there.
Yeah, and that may or may not mean anything. You know, maybe he's taken a few plays already, and now maybe they're going to have both of them out there. Who knows? But I kind of like it if Coach Taylor's going to stay within his scheme or what he likes to do or what's good for the team, but also do something different at the same time.
Well, we've seen Lane Taylor. Now there's Isaiah Ince there, so it must have been some sort of little thing that they were doing, and who knows, maybe we'll see something from the Wildcat. But, yeah, he's out there now, so it looks like we've got our starters out there. So we'll see how all of this turns out. But I just happened to notice that, and I thought, well, I wonder what's up there. But
yeah, they were both in the backfield that time with Ince at quarterback and Taylor at halfback.
That would be an interesting wrinkle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of in between from letting you enjoy the band out on the field and all the festivities and listening to us and our particular insights.
Great band, I was just going to say. If you can hear them, they are outstanding for a high school band.
Well, they winning the another state championship, and at the school today, this morning, we had a big assembly, and the high school band led the way down the hallway. It was the full band coming down the hallway, and I can tell you what, they sounded unbelievably good, under the direction, of course, of Alex Bennick and also Miss Brittany Crone, and also Annie Campbell is also the leader of the band here tonight as well. So quite a bit going on there, but they're sounding great.
Right. Well, and besides the band, obviously you got the cheerleaders, pom-pom girls, and the flag girls, and it all comes together to make just a great scene out there.
Part of the homecoming festivities here tonight. And glad you could join us on this Friday evening. A beautiful Friday evening, classic time of the year, warm days and cool nights, and not too much in the way of humidity.
Yeah, that's the key right there. Nothing a football player hates more than humidity. It kind of sucks it out of you.
You get those leg cramps sometimes in those situations, but and we do see that earlier in the year. You can see it at this time of the year, but it's not quite as common. But in any event, so I have had the experience, for better or worse, of playing on a team that did not have a victory in a season back my senior season at Woodland High School. We had several of our key players get injured. It was a tough year. We went 0-8-1. Our one was a 0-0 tie against the best team in the conference on homecoming.
Oh, that proves something to you right there.
It does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for the national anthem. So we'll kind of step aside. We'll stand up and all of the above.
Oh, it's school song.
School song. Well,
I'll stand up anyway. It feels good.
Yeah. It is indeed the Boilermaker school song.
Yeah, now that we're standing up, Bob, it really is a good-sized crowd considering you got 2 0-6 teams playing.
Yeah.
But even Sherrard's got quite a few people over there.
Yeah, you're right. They really do sound good, don't they?
They do.
Indeed, the Kewanee High School Boilermaker Band, as Steve mentioned a moment ago, the Poms, the Flag Girls, a little bit of everything out there. And they do sound really good.
Well, like you said, they are 2-time state champions now, right?
That is pretty impressive, yes.
Is.
Well, and I'll tell you, too, having played in the high school band out on the field, I can tell you one of the toughest things in the world is when you're down on that field, because you feel like you're the only person playing out on the field. And they used to say to us, listen, don't stop and listen. Just keep playing, because if you stop and try and listen, you'll think you're the only person there, and then you'll stop playing and it'll be off.
And that might be more noticeable than if you played something wrong. Yeah.
It's a major challenge, but doesn't seem to have any effect on these young musicians.
Well, Bob, you're just a jack of all trades. I like it.
Well, thank you very much. And I was just thinking the other day about the various steps in my quote-unquote career along the way. I have had a variety of situations that have all kind of added up. Some wonderful experiences, and fortunate to meet quite a number of wonderful people. Well, we mentioned the Star Spangled Banner a moment ago, and I think we're going to have it here in just a second or two. A rounding edition, a astounding edition of the national anthem there by the Boilermaker Band. Boy, they clear the field rather quick, don't they?
Oh, you know what they're doing? They're setting up the tunnel for the football team. Yeah.
Well, you ever try and run with a tuba?
I have not.
Neither have I, but it looks like it would be challenging.
I run with extra weight on me, but not above my head like that.
Well, yeah, I must say that I've also enjoyed that experience as well. But in any event, but they are moving rather quickly, no two ways about that. Well, in any event, we're just about set to get things off and rolling here on this Friday evening. And, of course, you know, the chat, certainly for Boilermaker fans, is this going to be the night that we break out of it?
Right.
And, of course, if you're a fan of the Sherrard Tigers at 0-6, you're also thinking the same thing for your team as well.
Exactly.
So with that in mind, something will have to give. Well, one thing you can say, the team has not lost any of their enthusiasm.
Oh, they seem fired up, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
It is homecoming, and if you ever want to put on a show or get that win, it'd be tonight.
Like I say, I've seen it work to where our homecoming that year, Dana Rutland was in town that night. They were the best team in the Mid-State 8 at that time. They won the conference that year. But in any event, it was a 0-0 tie.
They had a tie on their, had a blemish on their record, though.
Well, our fastest guy was a student by the name of Brian Wickheiser. He was so fast, nobody could touch him. He was just that fast. One play about midway through the third quarter, he broke loose, and at about the midfield stripe, it looked like he was gone. And they just barely tripped him up from behind. And we talked to him later, and he said, I didn't realize anybody was there. He says, otherwise I would have put the burners on.
Oh, man.
Had he put the burners on, they wouldn't have touched him. Like I say, he was just so fast. And so it was that close. But so it ended up being a 0-0 tie. But I guess my point, if I have one, is that homecoming caused that team to rally around big time. Yes. And when you take on the number one team in the conference and you play them that well.
MDR.
Yes, that's...
I remember them.
Yeah, they're now called Fieldcrest.
Part of Fieldcrest. With Winona and Toluca, I believe.
Yeah. Well, back at the time, Dana Rutland. And so, yeah. That's been a few days ago.
Well, I got a terrible dad joke here, Bob.
All right.
Was said Wickheiser?
Yeah, Brian Wickheiser. Yeah.
Was he quick enough to hit the light switch and be under the covers before the lights went out?
He was that fast.
He was that fast.
We're set for the opening kickoff.
That's enough of that.
It'll be Landon Clark to kick off for the Tigers, and off we go. That ball back down about the 12-yard line. And the Boilermakers trying to work it upfield here to the right side. And out to about the 27. And a nice carry that time for the Boilers. As I believe that was Ace LaFollette on the carry. And in the event, the tackle that time was made by Harper Farwell. So for the Boilermakers tonight, quarterback will be Isaiah Ince. The halfback is Lane Taylor. The fullback is Ace LaFollette. Wide receivers are Josh Dewante, Damian Taylor, and Chris Crow. Offensive linemen, Oswaldo Sanchez, Ari Simmons, Camden Hicks, Jesus Martinez, and Kanan Griffin. First and 10 for the Boilers from the Kewanee 26-yard line. Wide receiver here to the near side right. Flanker stack to the left. It'll be a toss to the left side. Out there trying to get LaFollette in space. He's up to about the 35, maybe the 36. He's brought down there. And for the Boilermakers, we'll call it second down and about 6 yards to go.
That was just actually a great catch by LaFollette at that time. The pitch was behind him, and he reached back with one hand and managed to keep his head up, catch it, and keep going forward.
Indeed. Nicely done that time by the Boilermakers. And it will bring up again a second down and about 6.
And that's going to be key to Kewanee. Just keep going forward. No, you can't have any negative plays.
From the spread, wides and slots on both sides. From the shotgun, the quarterback Isaiah Ince takes the snap. Inside handoff again. And this one's going to go to Lane Taylor outside. Not much, maybe a yard that time. And the tackle that time made by Sam Steckel.
And that was good inside-out pursuit by Steckel that time.
Coming down the line pretty quickly. So it's going to bring up third down. And about 5 yards to go for the Boilers. We're just underway here tonight from the Kewanee High School Stadium. Once again, I'm Bob McKee, along with Steve Osborne. Nice to have you with us here on this Friday night. Do have a couple of announcements we're going to make here in just a moment. But right now, Ince from the gun fires to the left side. Look out, this is intercepted. And the Tigers will take this back to the house. That'll be Corbin Devlin with the interception. And just like that, it is 6-0 Sherrard. Steve, the Boilers seem to have a little impetus, and poof, like that.
That pass was like in between two receivers. I couldn't tell if he was overthrew one or underthrew the other. That was in the same, in the same line there out to the side. And the only one that ended up being in the area was the Sherrard guy. So
tough way to start the ball game. 6-0 Sherrard. 10:29 here in this first quarter off the interception. And the extra point attempt coming up here. The kick, once again, will be made by Landon Clark. And again, we do have a couple of announcements we'll pass your way here in just a moment. So if you'll stick around for that. For the Tigers, the snap to place the kick is up. It's partially blocked. No good. Will hold at 6-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have some birthdays that we'd like to mention to you here today. First of all, a happy birthday wish goes out to the man to my right, Mr. Steve Osborne. I'd also like to wish a happy birthday to my daughter-in-law, who I love dearly, Amy McKee. And yesterday was our superintendent of schools, Mrs. Rebecca Bainey's birthday as well. So happy birthday to Mrs. Bainey. Amy, happy birthday to you. And, my friend, happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate that.
Well, certainly, and for a man nearing 100 years old, you look pretty good. So, in any event.
And just remember, you're older than I am.
Yeah, maybe I better backtrack on that for just a moment. But also, we'd like to mention this as well. The Kewanee Schools Foundation announcing 3 alumni classes are in attendance at tonight's game. They are the class of 1970, 1975, and 2000. So, Steve, quite a number of festivities taking place here tonight.
Yeah, and quite a different or various range of ages there for the classes.
Yeah. Well, and not that I went to Kewanee High School, but I graduated in 1970. You weren't too far from 75. But then, I agree, 2000 is quite a jump up there. But in any event, just like that, 6-0 Sherrard, 10:29 first quarter. And the Tigers to kick off once again here. Their kicker, again, is Landon Clark. Their head coach is Dan McGuire. And, of course, Matt Taylor, the head coach of the Kewanee Boilermakers. Waiting for the officials, okay. There it is. The approach and the kick. Deep. Once again, going to be Lane Taylor at the 5 to the left side, 10-15 to the 20, back to the right side. Trying to get outside, can't do it.
Good coverage.
He's going to be brought down, yes, right around the 19-yard line. And I agree, good coverage that time by the Tigers. Their quarterback, Quinn Zimmerman, also a D-back, in on the hit that time. And so the Boilers go to work, 1st and 10 from the Kewanee 20-yard line. Let's see if they can put that opening miscue out of their minds.
Behind them, yeah. I was just about ready to say when they had the ball, they just need to get ahead. I mean, that helped so much, and then boom, that happened.
Yeah, that was, and they were moving the ball. So let's see what happens here.
Obviously, it's not a backbreaker that early in the game, but you just hate to see it happen.
1st and 10, kind of a jumbo kind of a play here, right into the middle of the line that time. Very, very short yardage. Kind of an interesting situation. They had one of their backs hopping down the line.
And then went inside with the run. That was,
Ace LaFollette, the ball carrier, maybe 2. And let's call it 2nd and 2 from the 22. 2nd and 8, rather, from the 22. But, yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing, wasn't it?
It was. That was a different type play. They have changed quarterbacks already.
From the spread, wides and slots both ways. Yeah, you're right. Got to wonder if Ince was maybe hurt or something. Penalty flags as this play just getting underway. Lane Taylor is now the quarterback. And it looks like Eli Dennison is going to take a spot in the backfield. It's going to be a false start. Steve, sometimes with a new quarterback, a new rhythm and that sort of thing,
right,
you can have trouble.
But that's what we talked about in pregame when we saw them warming up down here. They were both warming up at quarterback. So, but it is a change.
Yeah, and we did see, and good catch by the way, but we did see Lane Taylor taking a lot of the snaps pregame. And right now he's the guy coming to the side to get the play and then headed back in. So not sure what the story is with Isaiah Ince. But again, Lane Taylor at quarterback. From the spread, wides and slots, both sides. Single set back to the right side of the quarterback. The snap. Taylor back to throw, looking to the right. Now he's going to take off and run. He's going to try to the 20, to the right side here. Boom, outside, knocked out at about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Well, I tell you what, that is a whale of a hit that time by Landon Clark.
That was good speed by Taylor and a good hit by the Sherrard defender.
Well, he moved the line of scrimmage up to the 28. And so it's going to bring up 3rd down and not quite 3 yards to go for the Boilers.
I think it's very important for them to get their first down here. Just get something going.
Yeah, get some kind of forward movement because you don't want to let things kind of start to slide away just a little bit.
No, especially this early.
All right, 3rd down. Not quite 3 for the Boilers. Wides and slots again, both sides. Taylor fakes the throw, takes off on a quarterback draw right up the middle. Big yardage. He's got the 1st down. Up to about the 39-yard line. Tackle made by Harrison Curry. But a nice play and nice execution that time by the Boilermakers.
Little quarterback draw, and it just kind of opened up for him.
Up to the 39, where it's 1st and 10. And Steve, as you know, sometimes you get a different quarterback, it changes the rhythm of the offense. It can also have the same effect on the other side of the ball as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've already, Sherrard's thinking, hey, this guy's a little bit faster than that first quarterback. So
wides and slots, both sides from the gun. Josh Dewante in motion, right to left down the line. Hand off to Ace LaFollette, hit in the backfield, tries to get to the outside. His speed will take him there. Can he turn the corner? He does. Picks up yardage up to about the 43. And so we're going to say a pickup of 4 that time. We'll call it 2nd and 6, but speed to the corner that time was the difference.
Well, that and yeah, for that particular play. But the one thing I was just thinking is a lot of these kids touching the ball, the skill guys are all sophomores. So that should just help them in the next couple of years. Because remember we talked about the future earlier, and that's kind of what you're looking at right here.
Well, I'll tell you, we saw Lane Taylor on the sophomore team here a couple weeks ago, and he looked pretty good. And so far here for the varsity, he's looking good as well. Wide receivers on either side, slots as well. Single setback from the shotgun. High snap. Taylor brings it down. Little toss to the left side. Going to be complete on the far side. It's going to be a very, very short pickup, however. just a couple yards out there. So just kind of one of those quick hitters, and while you don't pick up a lot of yardage.
The defender played it very well, too.
Yeah, you know, while you don't pick up a lot of yardage, but you make those defenders think, you pull them up a little bit closer.
Exactly.
And maybe something down the line. Let's see. 3rd down and about 6 to go for the Boilermakers.
And another one of those sophomores, number 1. Or no, what's Chris Crow? That's what I'm thinking.
Chris Crow, number 10.
Number 10 hasn't touched the ball yet, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, 3 receivers right, 1 to the far side left. Again from the shotgun. We've got whistles from the officials before we start. And it looks like timeout has been called by the Tigers. Their quarterback and D-back, Quinn Zimmerman, over the sideline there. And checking in his place will be Carter Brown, but Zimmerman almost has that appearance like he's got a little bit of an injury there.
Yeah, he ran off to the side pretty quick.
It's like he's holding his hand or something there. We'll see what happens. From the shotgun, Taylor trying to roll to the outside right, picks up a block on the run to the 45 to the midfield stripe. Going to be brought down from behind, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. Tackled by Cooper Thomas. But Lane Taylor outside to the right, and Steve, they got a nice block on the corner, and then Taylor just squirted to the outside. And
he showed that speed once again.
I
almost thought it could have been a horse collar tackle, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Dragged down from behind.
Yeah, I thought as well.
Depends on what part of the back or the shirt got grabbed.
And that can be kind of a fine line thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, 1st and 10 for the Boilers from the Sherrard 49-yard line. Wide receivers on either side. Now flankers and slots on either side. From the gun, Taylor takes the snap. Another quarterback draw. Not much this time, as he's going to be met right in the middle of the field that time. Yeah. Tackle made by Jonathan Weekley.
Yeah, no gain that time. He just really had nowhere to go.
Well, it worked the first time fairly well, but Tigers making a nice adjustment on that situation. So, as Steve says, no gain. 2nd down and 10 from the Sherrard 49-yard line.
I think so far the Boilers can get outside on them. They have to run those inside runs just enough to keep them honest.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what happens here on 2nd and 10. 3 receivers left, 1 to the near side right. From the shotgun, Lane Taylor, the quarterback, takes the snap. Little quick toss out to the left side. It's a flanker pass. Going to be complete. However, the receiver slips and falls down immediately and going to lose about 2 yards on the play. And I believe that was LaFollette on the
he just plain slipped.
That's
too bad.
Well, going to bring up 3rd down now. And 12, well, just about 13. And so, tough situation there. And we'll see what happens here. But I'm guessing as fast as he probably just ran it right out of his shoes or something.
Well, he went to cut back in, and that was it.
3 receivers to the near side right, 2 to the far side left. Again, Taylor from the shotgun takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking to throw. On the run, gives it a toss. Going to be in and out of the hands this time of the intended receiver. Once again, that was Ace LaFollette. Steve, that's a tough one because that ball was basically in the receiver's hands.
Yeah, and quite frankly, if he'd have caught it, I don't think he'd got the first down anyway. So,
4th and 13 for the Boilers from the Kewanee 48-yard line. As unfortunately on this drive here, they've lost 3 yards total. So do you go for it or do you kick it away? I think
it looks like they're going to kick it away.
Chris Crow, I believe, back to do the kicking for the Boilers, and back deep for Sherrard is Harrison Curry. High kick over to about the 25. Receiver drops the ball twice, but the Boilers not able to capitalize, and so the Tigers will go to work 1st and 10 right around the Sherrard 30-yard line.
Yeah, that ball looked like it rolled out of bounds, but he was struggling to corral it.
That was just one of those. That was a nice kick that time by Chris Crow. All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Sherrard 29-yard line. Their quarterback is Quinn Zimmerman. The running backs for the Tigers are Harrison Curry and Landon Clark. Fullback is Cooper Thomas. The tight ends are Jackson Jones and Aiden Bajeski. We'll get to the offensive line here in just a moment. For the Tigers, 2 receivers left. Tight end stacked to the right side. Offset backfield. Zimmerman takes the snap. Hands off to the first man through. That's the fullback, Cooper Thomas, to the right side. Still struggling out across the 35. Up to about the 36. Boilers in a mob over there. But pretty good yardage that time for Tigers on the first down play.
He got about 6 when he looked like he should have got a couple.
7 on the play, 2nd and 3.
So, line of scrimmage out to the Tiger 36. We'll call it 2nd down and 3. Sherrard leading 6-0 with 5:20 here in this first quarter of play. It's homecoming tonight here at KHS and a very, very festive atmosphere. This time from the wishbone. There's the snap. Hand off to the deep back this time. Over there it's going to be Landon Clark. He's going to be stuffed, but then cuts it back inside for a little bit more. Right back to the line of scrimmage. And, boy, credit the Boiler defense for mobbing the point of attack that time. I mean, several defenders there.
He about got out of there, though, Bob. I mean, once you get that mob there, somebody's got to tackle. It looks like they were all hitting but not tackling. But they got him down. They put him in a 3rd down situation.
3rd and short, 3rd and about a yard or so. I think Camden Murray was in on the hit that time. He led the charge, but there were several Boilers there. 3rd and short for Sherrard from the Tiger 37. Again, from the wishbone with a double tight end. Quarterback under center. Hand off to the left side. They're going to bounce it between the guard and the tackle. Harrison Curry on the carry out to about the 41, maybe the 42. And the Tigers will move the sticks. So 1st and 10 for Sherrard from the Boilermaker 41-yard line. Beg your pardon, from the Sherrard 41-yard line as we approach the 4-minute mark here in this first quarter of play.
What always worries me about this offense that they're running is they run, and they suck everybody up, and they're going to throw one.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's someone wide open. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, it's like you're a psychic. 2 receivers left, pro set backfield. Zimmerman under center, takes the snap. Hands off to the deep back. Look out, I think we got a fumble on the field. Apparently not. The ball carrier that time was Cooper Thomas. They're going to string the play out. Basically no gain and maybe even loss of a yard.
I say it looked like a TFL that time, a tackle for loss.
And for the Boilers, this is not good news here.
Oh, no.
Ace LaFollette is hobbling off the field, and he came back awfully quick from that ankle sprain. And you hope he hasn't re-aggravated it. But he's hobbling as he comes off. That is very unfortunate.
He's went right to the bench, and really there's no one tending to him, though. So let's see what happens.
2 receivers left. Fake handoff. Zimmerman over the top. He's got a receiver. It's going to be a big catch. You called it, buddy. You did. It's going to be a great reception by Aiden Bajuski. All the way down inside the Boiler 30. Going to be brought down at about the 27-yard line. And boy, did you ever call that one. Once again, leading the defensive charge that time for the Boilers. Out here on the corner. And I don't have a number 12 on my roster. There we go, Camden Murray. He was there a minute ago and then he disappeared. I don't know how that happens. Tigers on the march down to the Boiler 27. And again from the wishbone, it's going to be offset, almost a power I. Hand off to the deep back this time, to the left, to the right, back into the middle, spun down. Harrison Carey, the ball carrier that time. Boilers doing a nice job of staying with the play that time. And Dennison in on the hit for the Boilers, but pretty good pursuit by the defense that time.
I see Ace LaFollette moving a lot better, and he's got his helmet.
Yeah, that's a good sign there. Must have just been a minor tweak.
It looks like a man that wants to go back in.
Yeah, he's all business, no question about it. All right, 2nd down for the Tigers from the Boiler 23. 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. And pretty much again now running from the wishbone. It's a power formation with a double tight end. Hand off to the deep back. This time they're going to try the right side. That's going to be Landon Clark. Pretty much stuffed right at the point of attack. Boiler defense sliding over very effectively that time. And I think we're going to call that basically a little bit. Basically
maybe
no gain. Yeah.
No gain, maybe a yard.
Yeah. Maybe is about right. I agree.
More likely they're in 4-down territory, though.
All right, it will be 3rd down. They're going to give them 2, 3rd and 4 from the 22.
Sure didn't look like it.
No, it sure did not. I'm in full agreement with you there. It's homecoming tonight here at Kewanee High School. Very nice to have you alongside Once again, I'm Bob McKee along with Steve Osborne. We wish you all a very pleasant good evening. Now the classic wing tee. Going to toss it this time, trying to sweep to the outside right. Once again, the carrier is Landon Clark. He dances down to about the 20, maybe inside the 20. Boiler defense again sliding over pretty good to the point of attack. And so, for the Tigers, 4th down at the Boiler 19. 4th down and about a yard and a half to go.
This would be big for the Kewanee, for the Boilers. They just need something to a spark.
This may well be the final play of this first quarter. This time with a power I formation, strong side to the left, hand off to the deep back. This time look out, big hole into the middle, now to the left side, and it is going to be a touchdown carry, and that will be Harrison Curry, and that is going to be, I believe, a 19-yard touchdown run, and that's a toughie. 12-0 now, the Tiger lead. 16.6 seconds left here in this first quarter. And the Tigers moving the ball fairly effectively right downfield. Well, it's got to be I hesitate to say tentative time, but for the Boilers, there's got to be a sense of, boy, we've seen this before.
Right.
We'll again from the wishbone. Power formation, 2-point conversion attempt, penalty flags before the ball is snapped.
Delay of game.
And that will be the case. So if you're the Tigers, do you now decide to kick?
Now they're bringing someone else in, but I don't believe that's a kicker. Maybe it is.
Well, their kicker is, at least has been, number 9, Landon Clark. And now they will try the traditional extra point. Yeah.
The kicker was already out there. There we go.
Yeah, he was the one guy that laid the one hit over here a little bit ago.
Right.
All right, let's see what happens. The traditional extra point attempt coming up. Snap gets through, rolls all the way back out. And Clark is going to pick it up. Trying to run to the right side. Boilers will knock him down inside the 20. So the conversion attempt is no good. And we'll hold it 12-0 with 16.6 seconds left here in this first quarter of play. Well, again, we'd like to make the announcement that there are 3 alumni classes in attendance at tonight's game. Once again, the class of 1970, the class of 1975, and the class of 2000. Very, very festive, and I know, Steve, for homecoming, and certainly you get into the Hall of Fame situation in some of these various programs, it's really a neat thing and kind of special the way some of these teams and some of these players come back.
Yeah, that's true. When I was coaching softball at Galva, I've had 2 teams that are in the Galva Hall of Fame, and 2 are girl. All those girls were back for that. They didn't want to miss it, coming home, and kind of a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it really is. And watching Ace LaFollette on the sideline, he appears to be moving pretty good. He had come out a little bit earlier, hobbling off pretty good. And since we know he's got that ankle situation.
And it's now taped up.
Yes, you kind of feared the worst, but he is moving pretty good. Having some of the flattest feet that anyone on the planet can own, I had my share of sprained ankles before. So I am familiar with them. And one thing I did notice, if you get that baby wrapped up right away and keep going, sometimes at that point you're still okay.
Yes, once it cools down and tightens up, you're
kind of gels over, and
you're kind of up against it at that point.
You bet. Another kickoff for the Tigers coming up. 12-0 Sherrard. 16.6 seconds left in the first. The kick. It's a deep one. Ball's going to be dropped at the 10. And the Boilers will pick it up, but not much doing from there. Steve, when you look at the way the mob of defenders is at the 15-yard line, first of all, there's not a whole lot of room to run, but it also tells you that the blocking upfield is just not there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys getting picked off on that kickoff team by the return team. I mean, they're all down there and they're right together, right where your runner's at. So you're right, Bob. there's not a lot of blocking going on, and you feel sorry for the return man at that point.
Chris Crow down here on the sideline, sitting in the back of the Jeep mobile down there, but they're looking at his left knee. Nevertheless, Boilermakers going to work here to the near right side, trying to run and get to the outside and pick up some yardage there. On the carry that time is Carter Inslee. And he did a nice job getting outside that time.
Got about 7.
I sure hope Chris Crow is not banged up too bad. He's going to have a terrific basketball season, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
He's working on that knee, so let's hope it's nothing too detrimental. Nice pickup that time for the Boilers. 2nd down and 3.
It looks like he's using that massage gun on
it. He only just used up a few seconds. We're down to 5.4 as they came out of bounds to stop the clock. 2nd down to go, about 3 for Kewanee from the Boiler 33. Wides and slots on both sides. Again, Lane Taylor, the quarterback, working from the shotgun. Ace LaFollette standing to his right. Everybody finally down into the stands, and the quarter is going to expire before the play is off. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. And after one, Sherrard leading this ball game by a score of 12-0. Now, Steve, one of the things that we've noticed about this team, there's no quit. They don't seem to be hanging their heads. They seem to be coming off with a bit of enthusiasm. So that is a very, very positive thing to my way of thinking.
That is. I mean, that is a positive, and that as a coach, it gives you something to work with. You got kids that want to play and want to be there, and now you have to continue to coach them up. And like I said way back when we started, you're looking for improvement tonight. I mean, yeah, you might not win the game you want to, but you might not, to be honest. You want to see them improve from game to game.
Well, tough start to the game on the scoreboard, 12-0 Sherrard after the first quarter of play, and it was a tough way to start. Boilers were moving. Next thing you know, there's an interception taken back for a touchdown.
Pick 6. That's a tough way to start.
Yeah, it really is. You're looking for momentum, and actually the Boilers were moving, but that interception kind of turned that whole business around right now. So let's see what happens as this second quarter gets underway. Again, 12-0 Sherrard.
And on that first pass, I think they had 2 receivers open, but the ball was kind of between both of them. And I don't know if the pass just got away or what, but the Sherrard player picked it right between both of them and was gone.
2nd and 3 for the Boilers. Somebody looked like they took off early. I don't see any flags. There's a toss. It's going to be a reception, and that's going to be out there caught by Carter Inslee. He's immediately dropped to the turf. But I think he got just enough for the first down.
Yes, he did.
Out to the Boiler 37.
I think they might have got away with one, like you said, though, there, Bob.
Yeah.
Unless it was perfect timing.
Yeah, he just looks like somebody took off just a shade early. But we see no yellow laundry, so we're going to go with it.
And the young man that took off early was not involved in the play. So, I mean, maybe the referee, took that into consideration.
From the spread, wides and slots, both sides. Taylor from the shotgun. He's got the option to the outside, but the defense is going to catch up before he can get it unloaded. And it'll be Sam Steckel in on the hit. And maybe a yard, not much more. Taylor not able to get to the outside that time.
2nd and 8.
Yeah, we're going to call it 2nd down and 2nd and 8, I guess you'd say. It's like 2nd and 8.5.
So far, it looks like Taylor's taken over. He's taken every snap since that interception.
Well, again, we don't know if that's by way of injury or just what the situation is.
Right. That was just the point in time. Is what I was pointing out.
Right. Taylor back to throw, rolls to the right side, steps up, tries to throw it again. Dodges a defender, throws on the run. It's going to be caught at the midfield stripe. Nicely done this time by the Boilers. And that's going to be a completion to Ace LaFollette.
Is that his ankle again?
Yeah, he gets inside the 40 down to about the 39, maybe the 38. That's the problem with an ankle. Again, I can speak through experience that once they get bumped, it just seems like you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's hobbling off. Ace LaFollette hobbling is still probably faster than most. But the point is that after a while, you can only take so much of a beating on that injury.
That's right. And going back to that play, that was a nice job by Taylor extending that play. He could have been down in the backfield, but he kept moving and had his head up, and he found LaFollette wide open.
Landon Weir checking in on the offensive line for the Boilers. Ace LaFollette over here. They're going to try rewrapping that ankle again. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Kewanee from the Sherrard 41. From the spread, wides and slots on both sides. Shotgun formation once again for Lane Taylor. There's the snap. Back to throw. Now he takes off to run to the right side. He's going to be hit right at the point of attack. And unfortunately not going anywhere.
I think he lost that time. Lost a yard or two.
Good tackle brought down by, or the tackle made by Sam Steckel. And a loss of about a yard, as you say, Steve. So 2nd and 11.
And I had another Boiler limp off that time.
You know, and it just seems that sometimes when you're having a tough season, injuries seem to compound themselves.
That was Landon Weir that time that came kind of hobbling off.
And he just had checked in for that play. All right, 2nd down and 11 for the Boilers from the Sherrard 42-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 to the far side right. And Taylor again from the shotgun, rolling to the left, looking to throw. Now he's going to take off inside the 40 to 35, going to rut down at about the 32-yard line. And the thing I like there, the defensive player, Quinn Zimmerman, there to bring him down. But what I really like about that is that Taylor went right at him and pushed him down in the process.
He initiated the contacts, what I liked.
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
So down to the Sherrard 32, where it's going to be 3rd down and about a yard to go. We remember the great Walter Payton. That was one of his trademarks. They would come to tackle him, and he would lower the shoulder and blast them in the process.
You may tackle him, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, not many Walter Paytons around, that's for sure. Nevertheless, inside handoff again to Ace LaFollette, charging forward inside the 30, down to about the 29.
What's that for?
And a penalty flag. Going to be holding against the Boilers.
Just when they get something going.
But I tell you what, LaFollette, give him credit. He's gutting it out. And he was churning up extra yardage on that play. And unfortunately, where the flag was thrown, had nothing to do with the play upfield whatsoever. Still, as you're an official, you got to call it. But that's unfortunate for the Boilers. Penalties and turnovers are a bugaboo in any sport for any team.
That's true.
3rd and 13.
So the line of scrimmage back out to the Sherrard 44.
I mean, what you're doing is hard enough, and then you have to overcome something like that. It just makes it all the harder.
3rd down and 13 for Kewanee. Wing back to the right side. Taylor takes the snap, rolling to the right side on the run, throws. Overthrown, incomplete. Fortunate for the Boilers, that ball wasn't intercepted that time. The only one with coverage out there that time was Sherrard's Javin Jones.
And there were 2 receivers in the area, and it was kind of like that first pass that got intercepted. It was right between both of them. I'm not quite sure who they're passing to sometimes.
Well, and you wonder if maybe somebody's running in a spot that they're not supposed to be. But it did seem like it was a design. So, well, in any event, 4th down and about 13 to go for the Boilers from the Sherrard 44. Kewanee to go forward on 4th down here. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Taylor from the gun. There's the snap. Back to throw. Upfield to the left side. He's got a man breaking loose. It's going to be Ace LaFollette. Caught. LaFollette in for the touchdown. A touchdown pass that time was going to go for 44 yards. And the Boilermakers are on the scoreboard. That is a nice play.
That was a nice touchdown pass.
Lane Taylor put that ball up and over the top. And a great job that time by Ace LaFollette to break loose behind the defender. And that was a classic case of go to where the ball is going. He never broke the route. And with his speed, bingo, he is in. And it is 12-6 Sherrard with 7:58 here in this first half of play. What a nice play that time by the Boilermakers. So
that play worked, Bob, because LaFollette didn't stop running, and the cornerback did, and he just ran right by him, got behind him, and caught it.
Yeah. Again, a classic case, keep running and go to where the ball's going.
Yeah, because he and Taylor did a great job of laying it out there in front of him.
They really did. All right, the Boilers, let's see, will be going for the 2-point convert. No, they're going to go for the extra point, I beg your pardon. Kicker, I believe, is Jesus Martinez. There's the kick. It is up, and it is good. And so 12-7. So you consider the fact that Sherrard had 2 scores, and if the Boilers can get another one and get the extra point, they're actually in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And Steve, now the question has to be.
They called something on Kiwani here.
Oh boy.
Gonna have to re-kick.
Yeah. I wonder what the call is
I
here.
did not see. That was a late flag.
Sure was. You know, it's a 5-yard penalty. You got to think some sort of a procedure.
Oh, I heard someone say 12 men in the huddle. I did see a Boiler run off late.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. So the kick now coming from the 15, making it a 25-yard extra point kick. It's up, and it's good.
Still good.
So once again, Jesus Martinez getting the kick. And it is now 12-7 Sherrard. 7:58 here in this first half of play. Well, once again, we'd like to mention the fact that there are some alumni classes in attendance tonight, 3 of them all told, and they are the class of 1970, the class of 1975, and the class of 2000. Now the question is, Steve, can the Boilers take that score, take that impetus, and turn things around?
Yeah, I mean, you saw the offense just pick up there a little bit. Let's see if the defense can do the same thing.
Well, Coach Matt Taylor was out visiting with the official, and he's still talking to them. He's really wound up about something, you can tell. Now, what exactly it would be, I'm not sure. But he's out there pointing something out to the official and saying, hey, look, if this is this and that is that, how come this isn't that?
He's way out on the field, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's past the numbers on the field.
He's outside the box. But he clearly is wound up about something. All right, let's see what happens on the ensuing kickoff.
Now, what you need to do, you hear about shutdown innings in baseball. You need to have a shutdown defensive stand right here for the Boilers and get the ball back.
You know, if you're a fan of the Chicago Cubs, you need a shutdown game tomorrow.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Let's see what happens. Jesus Martinez to kick for the Boilers. Carter Brown and Landon Clark are deep for Sherrard. And it will be Carter Brown picking it up at around the 15, up ahead, straight away, up to the 20, outside the 30. Going to be stopped here at the 30, but he's going to keep going. Up across the 40, pushed out of bounds here at about the 41-yard line. They had him for a moment. They just could not get him sealed down. And then they finally bring the mob and get the job done. But Sherrard with pretty good field position here.
Yeah, well, a lesson for any young football players out there. At this level, you cannot grab. They had grabbed and they weren't tackling. I mean, it took all of them to finally get him down.
Yeah.
That first defender got there and kind of just grabbed
him around the wrist.
Yes.
And not sure if that was a case where that's all he could get a hold of or what, but yeah, he just the ball carrier just drugged the defender.
Well, in their defense, sometimes that's all you can do, and you hold on until your teammates get there.
From the 41 of Sherrard, the wishbone, handoff to the fullback, and they're going to go to the left side, but not much there. The Boiler defense doing a great job of stringing it out. Harrison Curry on the carry.
Good stop that time. Kind of faked me out. I was watching the guy go up the middle.
I was too. Yeah, that was Cooper Thomas, their fullback, and as it was, one of their halfbacks on the carry. But that was not only a well-designed but a well-executed play that time by the Tigers. Well, the Boiler kicker now down here. They're looking at his ankle. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers from the Sherrard 42-yard line. Again from the wishbone. And now they're going to spread people out. It's going to be the wing T formation. And they're going to hand off to the left side.
Counterplay.
Oops, right up the middle. You called it. Absolutely. Landon Clark on the carry down inside the Boiler 40 to about the 38-yard line. That's where that misdirection play of a moment ago gets you looking in the other direction.
Sherrard had everybody going left, and the ball came back to the right.
So a big first down carry for the Tigers. Down to the Boilermaker 38, where it's 1st and 10, as we're inside of 7 minutes in the first half. Once again, Sherrard leading by a score of 12-7.
You'd like to see them force a turnover. I don't think they forced any turnovers this year. If they have, not many.
Yeah, that I couldn't say, but I don't recall seeing any. Nevertheless, from the wishbone, the double tight end. And they're going to come this way on the right side. Not a whole lot doing there. Josh Dewaney on the defense, turning things inside. Ball carrier that time was Landon Clark, but again, nice job by Josh Dewante out on that corner that time.
He stayed right at home that time and made a good tackle.
Pick up a 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8 from the Boiler 36-yard line. Boiler defense seems like they're kind of adjusting to things as we go on here. At halftime, we'll start off, Steve and I, giving a few stats and that sort of thing, and then after that, we're going to get out of the way and let you enjoy the halftime ceremonies here from the Boilermaker Band and everything else. From the wishbone, 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. And this time a handoff to the deep back going through. That's going to be Emery Partlow. He's going to get down to about the 31-yard line. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Carter Ensley in on the hit that time. But Sherrard really doing a nice job of mixing those plays up now with motion off to the weak side.
And they're kind of pretty much going straight at the Boilers, which is where I've seen other teams have success at them this year. You gotta. That's one place they're going to have to improve, strength up the middle, because this team's going right at them.
They're going to do the same thing here, double tight end with a wishbone. And it's going to be a handoff to the second back. Nothing doing there. Great play by Ace LaFollette. He's going to get the stop on Landon Clark. And I believe there's going to be a loss of a yard here, maybe.
Good anticipation, and what else I've been saying, Bob, that was a good tackle by Ace that time.
It was, out to the 33-yard line.
He hit him and wrapped him. That's how you have to do it.
4th and 5 from the Boiler 33-yard line. And it will be a big 4th down coming up here. Big for both sides. And we'll see how it goes.
I'm afraid you got to watch the pass here.
Well, we've got 2 receivers left. Flanker to the left side. Tight end to the right. We've got whistles. And the officials are going to say Sherrard has called a timeout. 4:16 left here in this first half of play. Once again, 12-7 Sherrard on the scoreboard. Well, again, our birthdays. Once again, yesterday, a happy birthday to Rebecca Bainey, our superintendent of schools here. And again, a happy birthday today to Amy McKee, my daughter-in-law. And a happy birthday to Mr. Steve Osborne.
Thanks, Bob.
I'm looking around for the cake with all the candles.
You have to come over after the game.
I see. I didn't know if there were so many candles that the fire department wouldn't issue the permit or just what. I didn't know.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, the good news is you're still having birthdays.
Well, I'm not going to put the number out there, but I don't feel that number.
I see. All right. Well, yeah, I go through the same thing myself.
You're old as you feel.
That's absolutely correct.
Sometimes I feel much older, but right now I'm fine.
There's an old Jefferson Airplane song, a line by Grace Slick once said, "You're only as pretty as you feel."
There you go.
And so, there you go, is absolutely correct. Well, it's not exactly a thing of beauty, but the Boilers with a nice touchdown drive here a moment ago.
And a stop here, and they're right in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. 12-7 Sherrard, 4:16 in the half. 4th down and 5 for the Tigers from the Boiler 34. And back to throw off to the left side. Look out, it's going to be complete over there. And a big first down at about the 20-yard line. The pass to Emery Partlow. And Carter Brown has taken over a quarterback for, at least he did on that play, for the Tigers. Although...
I felt that coming, Bob.
Yeah, oh yeah. So 1st and 10 for Sherrard from the Boiler 20. Clock moves inside of the 4-minute mark here in this first half. And not sure if Quinn Zimmerman the starting quarterback has some kind of an injury situation, but
well, you saw him run off earlier, didn't you?
yeah, over kind of holding his hand over there. And Carter Brown remains at the quarterback position. 2 receivers right, 2 stacked to the far side left, single setback. Brown to throw. It's going to be the quarterback option out here on the corner. Look out, the fullback has got it. He's going to barrel inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. Carrier is Cooper Thomas that time. Landon Greenhagen in on the hit. And
And Greenhagen got the worst of that.
He did. I thought I saw one of the boilers coming off, but no, I don't. So
he's heading back out there.
Now it's going to be first down and goal to goal for the Tigers from the Boilers 7-yard line.
They pitched the ball that time, and there was just nobody on that end.
Yeah. Talk about being on an island. See, big series here because the Tigers score, it bumps it back up, obviously. If the Boilers can stop them, that's a big momentum switch. From the wishbone, handoff to the deep back this time. And once again, it's going to be Emery Partlow down near the 3-yard line, where he's going to be stopped there, but Partlow had plenty of running room as they just plowed off to that left side.
Yes.
And it will be second and goal. This time from the Boilermaker 3-yard line. Clock at 2:40 and counting here in the half. And again, the Tigers leading 12-7. Sherrard once again going with that wishbone. And again, Carter Brown has taken over a quarterback. Under center. Takes the snap. Hands off to the deep back again. Partlow's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Dropped right at about the 1-yard line. Boy, the Boilers really mobbing to the point of attack that time.
A lot of hats to the ball, as they say on television.
Down to 2:10 in the half. Third down and goal, as they're down at about the 2-yard line. Tigers have been pretty methodical, Steve. Like you said, their MO seems to be just in general pretty much run straight ahead.
Right. And they're using up the clock, too.
Yeah, they really are. 2 receivers to the near side right. And once again, Carter Brown, the quarterback, stepping in under center. Offset backfield. Whistles here by the officials. And the Boilermakers have called timeout on this one. So with 1:40 in the half, 12-7 Sherrard. And the Boilermaker defense looking to recalibrate there, if you will. You know, certainly one of the nicer plays of the season that we've seen here is the nice touchdown pass that we've had on this other end going to Ace LaFollette. But that was a really nice play.
He runs so well with a bad ankle. I mean, that's crazy. He just ran by the cornerback and was wide open.
Well, and the thing you really like about his MO is you can see the fire coming out of him. And he's really getting after it. And I see Chris Crow on the sideline down on the bench. They continue to look at that knee.
He was that's true. But back at LaFollette, he was a good football player to begin with coming into Kewanee High. And then he got all that experience last year as a freshman, playing on the varsity next to Alex Duarte. Mm-hmm. And what a great guy to learn from.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the one thing about LaFollette now. You've got 2 more years with him, and so I mean he's going to be an outstanding player for you.
He really will, particularly if they can bolster things up on that line. But let's see how things develop in time. All right, Tigers back to line of scrimmage, 3rd and goal from the Boiler 1. Clock stop with 1:40. 2 receivers right into the middle of the line. Look out, that play is going to be stopped. But did they get in on second effort?
Second effort.
Yeah,
they had him backed
do.
up. He ran into a wall.
Cooper Thomas will slide it in from 1 yard out. And once again, Boiler defense tough, and they had him stopped. They just could not bring him to the turf. And that'll bump the score to 18-7 now in favor of Sherrard. With 1:35 here in this first half of play. And let's see if the Tigers go for the traditional kick, and it looks like they will. Again, Landon Clark is their kicker. The holder will be Carter Brown. It is the traditional point after the kick is up. We've got whistles everywhere. It is good. So that'll move things to 19-7 Sherrard. And we'll see how this plays out. And, Steve, quite honestly, I don't recall who gets the ball to start the second half.
That would be Sherrard.
Sherrard, I was afraid we were going to say that.
Yep. They won the toss and deferred. So I believe it'll be Sherrard.
Well, if the Boilers can somehow steal a nice run back here, that would bring a jolt of electricity to the crowd. I guess we'll have to see how things turn out. So
it's just tough with them scoring here and them getting the ball second half.
Yeah.
They could double up.
Yeah, that is a double whammy. Absolutely right. Well, unfortunately, the season winding down. This is game number 7. Boilermakers on the road next week. I believe that's a Saturday up at Sterling Newman. That's a 1 o'clock
That's
kickoff.
be very difficult.
Yes, and then back home on the last Friday of the year, as they will be playing host to the Orion Chargers that time. And Orion started off with a pretty good look and then has kind of tapered off a little bit. I was under the impression that they were maybe stacked for a pretty good season.
I believe they beat the Sherrard team not fairly handily.
All right, let's see what happens here on the kickoff. Boilers confused here. Somebody wants to leave the field. They send him back out as the ball is being kicked. And this play is being blown dead as it gets started. And that's that kind of confusion is hard to digest.
Yeah, especially at this point in the year.
Yeah, that's hard to calculate. Well, once again, the kickoff coming up here from the Tigers, Landon Clark. There's the kick. It's going to be low line drive on the field all the way down to the 21-yard line. Look out, the Boilers are going to fumble it twice, and the Tigers have taken over. Tough situation last night for that play for Cameron Hammonds. And Steve, it's
and he was the one that came in late too, so that's kind of.
Well, and what's worse, he fumbles the ball.
A little bit of a head scratcher.
Inside the Boiler 30, down at about the 28-yard line. And the classic case of the ball got out of his hands, and then he's looking upfield to see where the defenders are at. And that's very understandable because they're coming,
right,
particularly as you've dropped it. That was bad enough, but then by looking upfield, he dropped it a second time.
He panicked, much like that Philadelphia pitcher did last night. I don't know if you saw that or not, but lost that game by throwing it away.
I did, but I heard something about he had cost him the game. Oh, look out. Great defensive play here. The Boilers all over this one right from the start.
I think the Sherrard running back went the wrong way. Either that or the quarterback tried to hand it off the wrong way.
That was Oswaldo Sanchez. He was there right now to bring the play to a close. He just literally plugged the middle of the field.
Right.
And maybe a yard for Sherrard.
I don't. But that baseball game last night, that Dodgers had the bases loaded with 2 outs, ground ball back to the pitcher, and he booted it. And he still had time to go to first base, but because he booted it, he panicked and he tried to throw home and threw it away.
Oh,
and that's
dear.
how the Dodgers won.
Look out. It's a jailbreak. Tigers going for look out. They got a man open in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown catch by Emery Partlow. Nice throw that time by Carter Brown of Sherrard. And that is a bitter pill to swallow right then and there.
And they get the ball, like we said, to start the second half.
So it's 25-7 now, Sherrard. And what appeared to be a promising first half, unfortunately, has turned south real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And you feared as soon as that fumble took place that it was going to end up being a touchdown.
Right.
Whatever they want to do.
Classic extra point attempt coming up for Landon Clark of Sherrard. The snap, the place, the kick, it's up, and it is good. Just inside the right upright. And
it's hard to swallow, Bob, because that team over there is also 0-6. I mean, it's a tough situation.
Yeah, and I got to admit, I am a little surprised to hear that Sherrard's 0-6 because I thought for the most part they've actually looked pretty good here tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the Boilers have had some moments, and unfortunately for them, however, not enough. Big halftime festivities coming up here. Steve and I will blab for a couple minutes early, and then we'll get out of the way and let you listen to the band and watch all of the festivities at halftime. Of course, we will have the second half.
I thought for a while this scoring summary would be kind of short, but it's getting longer quick.
Well, the problem there, amongst others, at 26-7, that's 19. Boy, you talk about a momentum killer.
Yeah.
That was just yikes. All right, 26-7 in favor of Sherrard. 42.7 seconds left here in the half. And the kickoff coming up here from Landon Clark. Here's the approach and the kick. Another one of those line drivers right on the carpet. Going to be fielded about the 25, and somebody got planted to the turf that time. That's kind of a tough one. And the ball carrier that time, Camden Murray. So the Boilermakers at their own 31-yard line would be 1st and 10. Steve, do you try and pull a rabbit out of the hat here, or you just say, look, let's just be content to go into the break?
Normally I'd say be content, but at this point, what do you got to lose?
Yeah. From the spread, wides and slots on both sides. Again, Lane Taylor, the quarterback from the shotgun. And he's back to throw. Here to the left side. Ball's going to be tipped away.
They were
good defense.
Fortunate right there.
Yeah, yes. Harrison Curry in with a hand to knock it away. Steve, two problems with that play, at least from this angle. Number one, they telegraphed it all the way, and number two, it took way too long to develop.
Yes, and it was a long pass. It gave him plenty of time to read it, and luckily he just didn't step in front.
Because otherwise, if he catches it, there's nobody between him and the goal line.
No.
34.7 seconds left from the spread. Wides and slots, both sides, and again, Lane Taylor from the shotgun. The snap. Back to throw. Here comes the pressure rolling to the right. Throws on the run. Going to be complete on the far side. Out to about the 37. And I believe that's Josh DeWante on the catch out there.
The best thing about that, they didn't get a lot of yards, but by completing it, it kept the clock running.
Yeah, and just get everybody to half. They act like they're going to try and squeeze a play, but I don't think so.
No.
So at the break, 26-7, Sherrard. As everybody heads to the locker room. Well, and you feel bad for the guy that fumbled in that situation, because one player doesn't lose a game, one player alone doesn't lose a season. It's got to be kind of a combination of these things. And that was just very, very unfortunate. 26-7 Sherrard at halftime. And again, we'll be with you here for a couple minutes before we head downstairs and sign autographs and all of those things. But we also
be a real short line.
We certainly do want you to enjoy the halftime festivities here. 26-7 is the Sherrard advantage here at the half.
Would you like a quick little scoring summary here, Bob?
Yes, sir. What do you have there, Mr. O?
All right. Actually, Kewanee had the opening kickoff, and they were moving a little bit. And then that turnover bug popped up. Sherrard stepped in front of a pass for a pick six. And that was at the 10:29 mark, I believe, in the first quarter. The kick was no good, and they were up 6-0. A lot of Kewanee's problems are right at the end of the quarters and the beginning of quarters, it looks like, because at 16.6 left, that's all there was left in the first quarter. They had a 19-yard run. Again, the PAT was no good, and they were up 12-0 going to the second quarter. All right, and then the second quarter is when we saw Kewanee move the ball and get on the board finally at 7:58 in the second quarter. A beautiful pass from Taylor to LaFollette, 44 yards, touchdown. He was wide open. He hauled it in and took it in, and Martinez made the extra point, 12-7.
He had to make 2 extra points.
He had to make 2 extra points. You are correct. They had a penalty in there, and then he had to kick it again and made it again. But at that point, you're in the ball game, and you felt like, just maybe. But At the 135 mark, after a nice drive, Sherrard took it in on a 1-yard run. The kick was good, 19-7. And then, like you said several times, you know, the next thing that happened kind of really bit the Boilers. The kickoff was fumbled. Sherrard pounced on it, and a pass play later from 28 yards and an extra point kick, and they were up 26-7 going to half. I mean, it went from 12-7 to 26-7 really quick.
Well, and I think you make a great point too that Harrison Curry down here. After the fumble, this last fumble, and the Boilers were deep in their own territory, a pass loft out here to the near side. The ball just kind of hangs, and Curry made a great break. Fortunately for the Boilers, he just punched it away with a fist.
Yeah.
But
well, Follett almost became the defender on that a little bit too.
Well, in that situation, if the defender makes the catch, he's gone right then and there.
He's gone. There was no one there. No one.
Well,
and you have to have a that ball can't be thrown with any arc in it at all. You just have to rifle that ball out there, and that was a long pass for Taylor to make in that situation, and it almost cost him. Luckily, it was not caught.
All right, Steve and I are going to back off now. Let you enjoy the halftime festivities here. 26-7, Sherrard at the break. We'll have the second half coming up. But again, we're going to step aside and let you watch, kind of focus in on all of the festivities on the field. It's homecoming tonight at Kewanee High School.
Continuing our halftime show, we have the Kewanee Marching Boilermakers and direction of Cindy Coleman, Alex Finnick.
We welcome back to the field the 2025 High School Marching Boilermakers and our 2025 Alumni Band and Color Guard. This year's homecoming theme is a most magical homecoming. We take you on a trip to the Magic Kingdom with a medley of 3 iconic Disney World classics, Mickey Mouse March, It's a Small World, and Zippity-Doo-Dah. Kewanee High School is proud to present drum majors as Lieutenant Cavada Annie Campbell, alumni drum major Sydney Hand, and the 2025 Marching Band and Alumni Band. Marching Boilermakers 2025 show is titled Free as a Bird. The band will be competing on October 25th at the Western Illinois University Marching Band Classic, where they hope to bring home some hardware in Class 4A. Tonight, we will be performing the third movement of our show, Free Bird by Leonard Skinner. The saxophone soloist is senior London Pettis. We hope you enjoy Free as a Bird. And now, stand and clap along with your Kewanee High School song.
High school band in the direction of Ricky Cone and Alice Sinnott. Good job. If you haven't already done so, there's still some homecoming mountains for sale at half price down at the concession stand. Half price for homecoming mountains. Get them while they last.
And we are back here with the second half of our game tonight between the Kewanee Boilermakers and the Sherrard Tigers. Once again at halftime, Sherrard leading 26-7. And just a tough way to end the half for the Boilers as a fumble leads to a late touchdown for the Tigers. And again, they lead 26-7. Once again, I'm Bob McKee along with Steve Osborne, wishing one and all a very pleasant good evening. Nice to have you with us here on this Friday evening. It's homecoming here at Kewanee High School, and at the moment, unfortunately, the Boilers are underwater. Let's see if we can turn things around here in this second half just a little bit. Boilers will be kicking off, and for Sherrard, dropping back deep will be Carter Brown and also Landon Clark.
This is that situation we were worried about, Bob. They got a chance to double up here. Actually, they doubled up at the end of the second quarter, and that's kind of put the Boilers in the hole, and now they get the ball right back again, Sherrard.
Yeah, let's see how it plays out. Once again, Jesus Martinez to do the kicking for the Boilers. Boilers going right to left as we look down on the field. There's the approach and the kick. It's deep, all the way down to about the 11. It's going to be bobbled down there by Carter Brown. He's out across the 20 near the 25, and the Boilers.
Pretty good coverage that time.
Yes, mobbing to the point of attack. Carter Brown leads the charge, but several black hats with orange letters on it mobbing the ball carrier. All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Sherrard 25-yard line. And again, Sherrard leading in this ball game 26-7.
And I believe, La Follette is out there. Chris Crow is not.
You know, Chris is still down on the bench here working on that knee. I hope it's nothing serious because he's a whale of a basketball player, and the basketball season from here just a little over a month away.
Yes.
Nevertheless, Tigers go to work, 1st and 10 from the wishbone. There's the snap. Hand off to the deep back, coming through to the right side of center. Couple 3-4 tough yards that time. Right into the middle of things. Ball carrier that time for Sherrard was Landon Clark. Boilers doing a nice job of mobbing the point of attack there.
And that's been the Boilers' problem, though. They can make 2 or 3 plays like that in a row, but they can't string them together consecutively and get off the field. They'll always give up that one play, it seems like, at the worst time.
All right, for Sherrard, it'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go from the Tiger 34. From the wishbone, hand off to the deep back, trying to go to the left side. Holy Moses, what a great defensive play this time by the Boilermakers' Eli Dennison. Harrison Curry had the carry, but boy, he is planted almost immediately. A nice weak side tackle that time.
Yes, very nice. And then you said it right there, Bobby. You use the word tackle, and that's what they need to do. Wrap up and take them down. Hit them hard, wrap them up, and take them down.
Well, a key play early on in this third quarter. Going to be 3rd down and not quite 6 for Sherrard from the Tiger 30-yard line.
Let's see if they can get off the field here.
Once again, that double tight end formation with a wishbone, and now they're going to go to the classic wing tee. And we've got movement everywhere, and I believe the Tigers jumping is going to be a false start.
Yes.
Boilers were in there, but I think it was called with the Tigers, and that's going to be the case. So a false start against Sherrard. That's going to make it 3rd down. And roughly 10 yards to go as the line of scrimmage moving back to the Sherrard 25-yard line.
Not a punt yet. We had a Boiler heading back for the punt. It's not a punt yet.
Well, I guess it's one thing to look ahead, but
yeah.
Well, let's see.
What actually happened that time was the Boiler moved and caused Sherrard to move. The defense can move, but the offense cannot.
Let's see what the Tigers do, facing 3rd down and 10 from the Sherrard 25, late out of the huddle. This time wing T slotted to the right side, 2 receivers to the right. Brown back to throw, looking to the right side. Here comes the defense. Look out, he's hit as he throws. The ball's up in the air. It's a wounded duck, and going to be almost but not quite intercepted that time by Abram Hicks. He had the ball in his hands, and it slipped right through. And beg your pardon, that was actually Carter Inslee back there. No, nevertheless, it's going to be 4th down and 10 yards to go.
And that's actually not too bad a play by their quarterback. You have nowhere to go with it. Throw it long. If it gets picked, it's no different than a punt.
Interesting that both teams have had to pull off of their starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, Carter Brown has done a nice job for the Tigers, and Lane Taylor's done a nice job for the Boilers.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the punt. Deep drive. It's going to go to the far side of the field. And it's going to roll dead inside the Boiler 40 down to about the 37. So Kewanee with fairly decent field position there, as it will be a 1st and 10.
Nice stop that time. They caught a break with the offsides, but that's what they needed.
I see that Chris Crow at least is up and walking it gingerly, but at least walking on the sideline. But we'll see how that turns out. Well, Kewanee going to work, 1st and 10 again. From the Boilermaker 36, 26-7 is the advantage on the scoreboard for the Sherrard Tigers. Once again, it is homecoming here on this Friday night. And the Boilermakers breaking huddle with 2 receivers left. One to the far side right, a slot man to the right side as well. From the shotgun, Taylor takes the snap, back to throw, looking left. Now he's rolling. On the roll, look out, he doesn't get rid of it. He's going to be thrown for a big loss. The ball is loose. It's loose, still on the field. Who has it? Nobody has it yet. A mad scramble. Tigers say they have it. That for one moment they did. The ball loose out on the field. I think the Boilers did recover.
They did.
A nice job that time by Kewanee's Kanan Griffin to get in there. Steve, a tough play that time for the Boilers. Lane Taylor trying to make something happen out here in the flat. Just simply held on to the ball too long.
At some point, you just got to get rid of that. You had the key words there, Bob, trying to make something happen, but sometimes And he's young. I mean, I understand it, but sometimes you got to just cut your losses and get rid of that ball.
It's a huge loss back to the Kewanee 22. It's going to be second down and about 4 miles for the Boilermakers. 3 receivers to the far side right, 1 to the near side left. Taylor from the shotgun. And he's got the snap, rolling to the right side, looking to throw on the run. He does. It's going to be caught on the far side over there. And it will be a catch over there that time by the Boilermakers. A nice job by Ace LaFollette. Pick up to about the 30-yard line. I think they'll mark it at the 29. So they did pick up around 10, but still third down and about 17 or 18 to go. Line of scrimmage now at the Kewanee 29. Clock moving, 8:35 here in this third quarter of play. So very nice to have you with us on this beautiful Friday fall evening. It's likely to be a good weekend as well with some nice autumn weather.
Yes.
And for those of you that will be traveling to Indiana this weekend, it should be some happy motoring for you. At the 29, and we've got a timeout by Kewanee. Steve, that's if you got to take a timeout, you got to take it. But it didn't seem that didn't seem like circumstances were dictating that.
Well, it just they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. I mean, and I understand that when you've got a team like the Boilers right now, it can be hard for them to run. It can be hard for them to pass. I mean, and that's kind of a crucial point. You score here and you're close to back in the ball game, so it's kind of important to figure out what you're going to do here.
By the way, I would be remiss if I did not mention my bass playing friend Cameron Bates from the Kewanee High School Band. He's got that new Hofner bass out there. He showed it to me recently. It's a very nice bass, and I tell you what, Cameron really gets into it. Man, I'm telling you what, the guy is a cat. He's bad, man. He's bad. That's all there is to it.
He had kind of a little bit of a solo there, didn't he?
He's yeah. He's I'm telling you what, he's my guy. He can play that thing. I really like Cameron. He's a good kid to begin with. On top of it, he's a fellow bass player, and he and I talk shop occasionally. But I'm telling you what, he can play that thing. And so good for you, Cameron. Good job. And again, I love that Hofner bass. For those of you in the know, Paul McCartney, the great Beatle, was the one that brought the Hofner bass to the forefront of musicianship. Nevertheless, Boilers back to action. Lane Taylor takes the snap, rolling to left. Look, here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit from behind. And it's going to be a big sack this time as the Tigers coming in defensively that time to make the play. And unfortunately, that's going to be Steven Hollins making the play for the Tigers. But Boilers drop back to the Kewanee 27-yard line where it's going to be fourth down and about 18 yards to go.
That's tough when the other team knows you have to pass. And Taylor, again, probably hasn't played too much quarterback. He's young. You got to have that clock in your head to get rid of that ball or when to take off. He was still looking to pass as that guy was bearing down on him.
I was afraid it was going to be another fumble with the ball knocked away. Good punt all the way down inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. Going to be fielded by Carter Brown to the outside right to the 35-40. Back to the inside. Boom! As he pounded this time. A great hit by Ari Simmons. That was borderline a bit high, but I don't think quite enough to draw the flag.
He kind of helicoptered him that time.
Yeah, he did. I'll tell you what, he brought Carter Brown down right now.
Spun him around.
Yo.
That's one way to get your frustrations out.
Woo, 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 woo. That was a whale of a hit. So, pretty decent kick. Tigers with pretty good field position, however. They'll start off first and 10 at the Sherrard 45-yard line. Again, 26-7, Sherrard. 17 here in this third quarter. Tigers again running quite a bit with that wishbone tonight. Double tight end. It's a powerhouse running formation. And at handoff this time, they're going to go off the left side to Emmerly Partlow. Partlow's going to pick up a couple. Eli Dennison leading the charge. Carter Ensley back there, and a host of Boilermakers responding. But a pick up that time of about 4 yards. We'll call it second down and about 6 to go from the Tiger 49-yard line.
And that's what this offense is meant to do, is to just keep pounding you with 3 different backs, and sometimes the quarterback. It's a lot of misdirection and just coming right at you.
I can see how they played Mendota tough. It was an 18-15 Trojan win, but I can see how they played them tough.
Yes.
They've got a nice ball club there. Again, I'm a little baffled that they're 0-6, to be honest with you. Nevertheless, wide receiver off to the far side left, slot man to the left side, pro set backfield, penalty flags and whistles before this play is underway.
Timeout.
So, who got the timeout? Did you see?
Sherrard.
Sherrard, did they? I didn't see it, but so each club has taken a timeout here so far in the second half. 6:27 in the third, and again 26-7 in favor of the Sherrard Tigers. Well, again, the announcement tonight from the Kewanee Schools Foundation. 3 alumni classes are in attendance at tonight's game. They include the class of 1970, the class of 1975, and the class of 2000. So certainly nice to have those folks here on hand. And not every homecoming, unfortunately, can be successful on the scoreboard. But the Boilers have had some nice moments tonight. Unfortunately for them, Steve, they've just not been able to put together enough of them.
That's true. Like I said before, they can't stack one after the other. Just like with the stops on defense, they get a couple and then they give something up, and you got to be able to just pile on those type of things, and they just can't do that.
All right, let's see what happens here. Sherrard facing second down from the Tiger 49-yard line. Both clubs back out on the field. Again, the Tigers with 2 receivers left. Quarterback stepping in under center. That's Carter Brown. Pro set backfield. Long count. There's the snap. Toss sweep. Trying to get to the right side. Cutting it back inside is Landon Clark. He's going to dance basically back to the line of scrimmage. And Steve, very encouraging to see that the Boiler defense is mauling to the point of attack. Juan Zapata leading the charge that time, but he had lots of help.
Well, I was going to answer you, Bob, but he threw a late flag down. I don't know what that could be for. After the teams had already separated, I wonder if somebody said something. Oh, boy. On Sherrard.
Unsportsmanlike on the Tigers. Somebody must have said something.
Well, Kewanee got there really, really well that time. They contained on the end, and he had to cut back in, and like you said, the whole defense was there to bring him down.
Well, the officials are talking with the Tiger quarterback, Carter Brown. I'm assuming he's maybe the captain in that situation, but the line of scrimmage now backing up to the Tiger 34. And Steve, lacking any other physical evidence, you got to think somebody said something that wasn't very polite.
Well, the teams were separated, and 44 was down on the ground hurt, kind of dragging his leg, and that's right where he threw the flag. So I don't know if he was reacting to getting hurt or what.
Well, nevertheless, the Tigers back now facing third down. And about 21 yards to go from the Sherrard 33.
Watch the pass to the left.
Wide receiver big outside to the left. It's going to be a counter. They're going to try to go back to the left to Curry. Curry cannot get outside. Now he turns the corner, moves it upfield. Going to be pushed out of bounds on the far side at about the Tiger 40-yard line. And it's going to be well short of a first down.
Good job that time on the defense again. Strung him out and he had nowhere to go.
Well, it was a nicely designed play. Sherrard played it well. Boiler defense actually played the play better that time. So it's going to be 4th down and 15 for the Tigers from the Sherrard 40-yard line. And a punting situation coming up here. Landon Clark to do the kicking for the Boilermakers. Or rather for the Tigers, beg your pardon. There's the kick. Big end over end. Going to bounce around at about the 30. And the Boilers are going to have position up at about the 35 or so. And almost a late hit that time, as the ball carrier that time for the Boilers was Damian Taylor. And he's kind of getting up, kind of looking around like, hey, wasn't that a bit of a late hit?
What happened there, yeah.
Well, nevertheless, no yellow towels anywhere. So Kewanee starts off 1st and 10. Field position not too bad at the Boilermaker 39-yard line. 26-7, Sherrard leading on the scoreboard, 5:29 here in the third. Kewanee goes to work with the spread, wides and slots on both sides. And from the shotgun, Lane Taylor takes the snap. He's got the option toss. He's got it to Ace LaFollette. LaFollette up ahead, bouncing across the 40, brought down at about the 42-yard line. And, boy, you can see the determination of Ace LaFollette on that play. Really no blockers out there. and he was running right into 2, if not 3 defenders. He puts the helmet down and kicks the accelerator.
And he got like 3 yards all on his own that time. That play went too deep to start with. When you have 10 yards to go to get back to the line of scrimmage, that can be difficult.
Yeah, the option is tough that way, but you're right. The quarterback's got to pretty much come down the line of scrimmage, and unfortunately that time that didn't quite go. Nevertheless, wide slots, both sides. Taylor from the gun fires a pass to the right side. It's going to be caught, but very, very short yardage. Maybe a yard on the play. Damian Taylor in on the reception. So the line of scrimmage is going to move out to the Kewanee 43-yard line, where the Boilermakers will face 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. Clock is moving here in the 3rd quarter. 4:14 and counting. Boilermakers had a nice touchdown drive in the first half. And not a whole lot of sense, to be honest. Wide receiver here to the near side left. Flanker to the right side. It's a pro set. Penalty flags everywhere.
That's on Sherrard. He jumped.
And that will be the case. So the Boilers will pick up 5 yards. Not enough for the first down, but it should make it now 3rd and about a yard. No more than 2 to go.
You know, I've learned to watch the linesman, Bob, the ref that's lined up right on the line of scrimmage. He'll tap which leg it is on which team it's on.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times, and that time he tapped on his left side, which is Sherrard.
Well, you got to have some little cue when you're down there, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Well, Steve, you're a former lineman as well, if I remember correctly.
Well, I don't know about that. That was a long time ago.
I see. 3rd down and a yard to go. Again, it looked like Sherrard jumped off sides. Boilermakers will plow ahead on the right side. I think they picked up just enough for the first down, but from my perspective, I thought I saw again the Tigers jumping off sides on the play. It is enough for the first down, however, just short of the midfield stripe. 1st and 10 for the Kewanee Boilermakers. 3:23 clock moving in the 3rd. 26-7 Sherrard up on the scoreboard. Boilermakers quickly to the line of scrimmage. From the spread, wides and slots, both sides from the shotgun. Lane Taylor takes the snap, looking to throw. Now rolls out to the left side. Throws on the run. He's got a man over the top. Oh, it's going to be incomplete. As this one
just couldn't quite get there. Ace LaFollette again.
Yeah, in and out of the hands of Ace LaFollette. And
great try.
You can see that he's really hobbled by that ankle. And again, that ball was in his hands. That was a catchable ball. But
well, what I liked is they threw downfield that time because these sideline passes aren't getting them anything.
That's true. Well, and of course, they Lane Taylor connecting with Ace LaFollette for that touchdown in the first half, and they're trying to get that magic back. The one thing you can say about Ace, even with that bad wheel, he's still getting open past the defense. Nevertheless, 3 receivers left, 1 to the far side right. Taylor from the shotgun. There's a snap, back to throw. Looking to the left, fires it up. Going to be incomplete. In fact, it's going to be intercepted. And it's going to be picked up by Javin Jones down to the right side. Going to get away just about, but not quite. Going to be brought down by Eli Dennison inside the Boilermaker 25 at about the 23. And Steve, another case there where the ball was just lofted up. And as you mentioned before, you need those razor-sharp laser passes.
Yes.
That time, not only was the ball up in the air, unfortunately, it was also overthrown.
Right. And it was right in his hands.
So Jones takes all the way down to the Boiler 26.
Quite fortunate he didn't go all the way that time.
Yeah, Eli Dennison saved the touchdown by curling the play back inside, but you're right. It was that close. So the Boilermaker 26-yard line, and Sherrard is in business there, 1st and 10.
That's so demoralizing because Kewanee's had 2 good stops. And they moved the ball a little bit, and then Sherrard's right down there anyway.
Double tight end, wishbone formation for the Tigers. They go to work from the Boiler 26, quarterback keeper to the right side, down to the 20, inside the 20, going to be pushed out of bounds here on the near sideline. Landon Greenhagen in on the hit that time. But the quarterback keeper for Carter Brown, everybody went left. He curled to the right. And it's going to be all the way down to the Boilermaker 13-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Well-designed, well-executed play by Sherrard that time.
Yeah, it was just basically a quarterback bootleg, a naked bootleg. He had no blockers, and everything went left, and he faked left and went right.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. As Harrison Curry leaving the field. And this time Sherrard goes with double wing and a single setback. Carter Brown, the quarterback, under center. Straight away this time they're going to go to the fullback. And the pounding is serious inside. Cooper Thomas on the carry. Down to about the 11. But, boy, he got ping-ponged back and forth by the Boiler defenders that time.
Yeah, right in the middle of the line that time. And Kiwani's not done a bad job right there in the middle. It's some of the other things are getting sucked into that too much that have caused them problems.
At the Boilermaker 12-yard line. It looks more like the 11 from here. Nevertheless, 2nd down and about 8 to go. Deep in Boilermaker territory for the Sherrard Tigers. They'll break now to the double wing and a single setback. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. It's an option, but he steps inside. Brown inside the 10. Going to be plugged up at about the 7 as a mob of black and orange simply standing it up and stopping the play at that point. Going to bring up 3rd down for Sherrard.
About 4, it looks like.
And, yes, inside the 10, down at about the 7-yard line maybe. So we'll call it 3rd down and 4. With 1:40 in the clock moving here in the 3rd. Again, Sherrard leading 26-7. Tigers breaking huddle. 2 receivers off to the far side left. Flanker slotted to the left side. Single setback. Fake to the inside. A pass into the end zone. Right through the hands this time of Aiden Bajeski.
That was there.
Yeah, one of those where he kind of carried initially in his hands, tried to sweep it towards the front of his hands, front of his body, if you will, and it just kind of slipped through on both locations. And the Boilermakers dodging a bullet there because had the receiver been able to seal the play, there was nobody to stop it.
That was just one of those quick tight end hitters over the middle.
Thank you so much.
And it was a nice fake, too, into the line that time as they fed it towards the fullback that time, Cooper Thomas. Bring up 4th down and goal. Make it a 4th and 2, rather. Actually, 4th and 7. Anyway, Brown rolling to the left, back to the right, curls inside, goes against the grain. Look out, this is trouble. Brown to the end zone, and he's going to score.
Oh, man, they had him, too.
And that will be from the 4-yard line, or rather, I beg your pardon, the 7. And that's going to be a touchdown run with 1:15 left here in the 3rd. By the Tiger quarterback, Carter Brown. He wasn't listed as the starter, but he's played most of the game. And it's now 32-7 Sherrard with 1:15 left here in the 3rd quarter. So the extra point kick coming up by Landon Clark. Holder's going to be Carter Brown. Snap to place the kick. It's up. And it is good. And so 33-7 now in favor of the Sherrard Tigers. That ball not only went through the football goal post, it also landed back in the soccer goal, which has been moved off the playing field by probably, 30 yards or so.
Yeah, quite a ways, yeah.
So that's a pretty snappy kick.
He doesn't get anything extra for that, does he? They don't need it.
Well, you know, as we cover soccer throughout the season, you see a lot of kicks on goal where not only does it go above the soccer goal, but it goes above the football field goal post.
The goal post, okay.
And so you do get those kicks. But in any event, 33-7 right now, all the kicks are going to Sherrard as they lead the Boilermakers by 26 with 1:15 left here in this 3rd quarter.
And another turnover. Turnover led to that time after the Boilers really had something going in the 3rd quarter, stopping Sherrard, moving the ball a little bit themselves, but just can't have those turnovers.
Well, you know, again, it's an age-old story. Eliminate penalties and turnovers, or at least trim them down to the best of your ability, and that will win you a lot of battles right then and there.
Or you're at least going to be in the ball game. You don't want to help the other team.
You know, we can see at least 14 points that Sherrard has got off Boiler turnovers.
Yes.
And when you're down by 26, that's a big deal. Nevertheless, kickoff time coming up here for Sherrard. And the approach and the kick. Line drive on the field. Going to bounce through one Boiler. Fumbled by a second Boiler. This is not good. And it's going to be a tough sled here as the Boilers are going to be very, very deep in their into the field. That's a tough situation there. Particularly, well, Lane Taylor was the second guy to fumble, but Steve, when you got two guys fumbling on the same play, it's hard to go anywhere.
Some of the things you've seen just aren't explainable or normal. I mean, it's just kind of strange.
Sort of a phenomenon.
That's just a bunch of young kids, hopefully just trying to make something happen, and then things go haywire.
You know, at the 20-yard line, Boilers will go to work there with a 1st and 10. Chris Crow remains on the sideline with some kind of a knee injury. I hope it's not serious. Wide receivers on either side for the Boilers from the pro set backfield. Handoff. It's going to go to Ace LaFollette. LaFollette, I beg your pardon, it's going to be Lane Taylor on the carry that time, as Isaiah Ince was back at the quarterback position.
That's a nice hole that time.
Yeah. Lane Taylor did a nice job of slicing up across the 25 to about the 26. And once again, Isaiah Ince back at the quarterback position. And now Lane Taylor is kind of hobbling off the field. Wowzer.
Gosh.
Yeah, nice pickup up to the 26. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Boilermakers with receivers on either side. Double tight end, pro set backfield. Ince takes the snap. Toss this time to LaFollette, trying to turn the right corner up to the 30, 33. Pushed out of bounds over there and gets just enough for the 1st down. And in that situation, not only does Ace LaFollette use that great speed, but he also uses that football IQ. He knew where the stick was, and that was where he aimed himself.
That, and he finished the run. Once again, he made the contact with the defender coming at him instead of letting himself get tackled, and probably went 2 or 3 more yards because of it.
So the line of scrimmage out to the Boilermaker 32. 1st and 10, Kewanee.
And may or may not get this off.
And down to the final inside 10 seconds here in this 3rd quarter. Wide receiver left, flanker to the right side, pro set backfield. And it's going to be an end around. The ball is going to be fumbled, and the Boilers will drop on it all the way back at about the 16. And that, in that situation, is just a bobbled handoff or a bobbled reception, however you wish to look at it. And Steve, when you go back and forth, I guess, at times with quarterbacks, again, we saw this when the Boilers first went to Lane Taylor. Sometimes it just kind of throws the timing off. And more than just throwing the timing off, but the timing that the team has gotten used to.
Yeah, and that was pertinent that time because you had Ince back in their quarterback, and they just didn't mesh on what they were trying to do, and it's just a lot of little things, and like that old saying, when it rains it pours, is really fit the Boilers really well right now. It's just,
yeah, no.
I mean, the whole season plus, also this game. This game's kind of been a little bit of a microcosm of the whole season.
33-7 is the Sherrard advantage as we get set for the start of the 4th quarter here. It's homecoming tonight. We've had a pretty good crowd. Unfortunate to say, a few people are now hitting the stands. And sometimes you just have to try and beat that freeway traffic. And so...
known as 2nd and 3rd Street.
Yeah, and so... But, yes, unfortunately, we do see a few people hitting the stands here. Well, it's been a tough season. There's no other way to look at it. You can't sugarcoat it. Well, is it a learning year? Is it just a down year? Is it something you're going to learn from and be better as a result?
Well, quite frankly, Bob, I think the main thing is so many of those kids are sophomores and some juniors, and very few seniors out there, really. So
that's true.
You want to make it a learning thing, but you don't. The flip side of that, you don't want them to learn bad things or bad habits.
All right, for the Boilermakers, 2nd down and 24, all the way back to the Kewanee 18. Boilermakers now headed south, and back to throw. Ince fires to the left side, overthrows everybody. It's out of bounds. He was hit as he throws. Pressure was really there that time. It's just a tough spot to be in back there like that. You're trying to make something happen.
Well, when you're back that far, they know you have to pass. It's going to be a jailbreak by the linemen. I mean, they're just going to pin their ears back and come at you.
But for the Boilermakers, Landon Weir checking back into the lineup. Third down, 24 yards to go for the Boilermakers.
And
from the Kiwanee 18.
What concerns me, I see a lot of Boilers just coming off with little injuries and little things, not going right. And
from the spread, look out, here comes the pressure. Oh my, the quarterback is absolutely pasted as he throws. The ball from there, of course, is a wounded duck that just falls aimlessly to the turf. But I think Isaiah Ince tapping his helmet. I think he caught a shot there to the head that time.
Fortunate that was another pick.
Yeah, he's coming up. He really got drilled. I mean, they were coming from either side at about 140 miles an hour, and he caught a shoulder pad to the chest as he's trying to throw that ball, coming down, hitting his head kind of hard. As he comes off, he's tapping his helmet as if to say, hey, I might have got bonked up here. Well, nevertheless, that's a tough one. Punting situation here.
Good roll.
Ball's going to roll across the midfield stripe down to about the Sherrard 46-yard line.
That ball was actually lucky to clear the line of scrimmage, Bob, and it ended up being a good punt.
Yeah, that one was, kind of a line drive. Well, in any event, 11:36 in the ball game, 33-7 Sherrard. And I guess at this point you could say the die-hard fans remain in attendance.
I'm wondering when the Boilers get the ball back, who's going to be quarterback?
Yeah, I'm wondering that too.
You got them both over here being looked at.
Yeah, and the way Ince came off kind of tapping his helmet, I would doubt seriously if he comes back.
And Taylor was already out sitting over here on the bench. So.
Yeah. And that's one of those things, too, when you have a down season like that, somehow the injuries seem to start stacking up more than normal. I don't quite understand, but it just seems to be. Nevertheless, the Tigers from the wishbone at the Sherrard 46. Hand off to the deep back coming off the left side into Boilermaker territory down to about the 45-yard line. And for the Sherrard Tigers, a nice carry by Harrison Curry. Down to the Boilermaker 45. Going to be a pickup of 8. We'll call it 2nd down and 2.
And quite honestly, Bob, this is where you want to see that clock just run.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll get to a continuous clock, but yeah, that's the kind of thing you just, get out of town without any injuries.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily talking about a continuous clock. I was just.
No, I hear it.
Yeah, you just want it to.
Yeah, you want it to be over.
You want it to be over and not get any more young men hurt.
Eli Dennison on the tackle. The carry at that time is Emily Partlow. And it's going to be a 1st down carry to the Boilermaker 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Sherrard Tigers. Again, they're leading 33-7. Clock moving at the 10:30 mark here in this 4th quarter of play. Nice to have you with us on this otherwise beautiful Friday evening. And the Tigers with a double tight end set. They've gone quite a bit tonight with a wishbone. That's the case here. The snap, the handoff to the deep back this time. Look out, it's going to be Clark to the outside right. He's going to break it loose to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown. And that time, Landon Clark will carry that one 41 yards for the score with 10-11 left here in the ball game. That'll move the score to 39-7. As we see a moon that's a couple of days past full coming up from that northeastern sky.
Yeah.
Boy, that's just kind of putting an exclamation point on the evening's weather.
That moon says fall, Bob.
It really does, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Tigers will go for the traditional kick here. Landon Clark, who just scored, will do the kicking. And Carter Brown will hold for Sherrard. The snap to place the kick. It's going to be blocked. This one was kind of a wounded duck right from the start. And so the score holds at 39-7. With 10-11 left here in this football game.
Are you talking to Coach Taylor after the game tonight?
I believe so, yes.
It'd be interesting to see what he has to say.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for me to see what I've got to say. But in any event, well, we'd like to mention to you again the announcement from the Kiwanee Schools Foundation that once again tonight in attendance at our game are 3 alumni classes. And those classes in attendance tonight, the class of 1970, 1975, and 2000. As I know, the class of 1970, no matter where you were, was a very good year.
Gee, I wonder who was in that class.
Well, let me think for just a moment. And, 39-7, Sherrard. Steve, with Sterling Newman looming up next Saturday, that's a mighty tough way to go.
Right.
And then back here the final Friday in 2 weeks with the Orion Chargers. And Orion will be a tough one as well. So, you mentioned a couple of times that you're kind of looking ahead a little bit to next year to see who's going to be able to do what. And so maybe in these final few minutes, we see some guys that do some things that maybe lend you to believe that things will be happening in the future. But at the moment, it's kind of on the grim side, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, and the first thing for Coach Taylor for next year, you want guys that want to be out there. Guys that are going to work for you over the summer. And, you just hope this kind of year doesn't put too much of a damper on doing that stuff.
Here's a kickoff back to Taylor at the 10. Oh, out to about the 20 where he's going to be horse-collared off there. That was Damian Taylor on the carry. And he's going to be brought down out on the open field that time. Again, kind of a little bit of a horse collar, not an overwhelming one to draw a penalty, but the tackle that time is made by Landon Clark.
Ince is going back in at quarterback.
All right, let's see what happens. Boilermakers first and 10 at the Kewanee 20. 39-7, Sherrard, 10:05 here in this fourth quarter.
And Taylor is standing over here without his helmet, so.
Yeah, he looks like he's
bad to worse,
favoring one ankle or the other. Yeah, Boilermakers have several guys that have been roughed up tonight, unfortunately. And for Kewanee, a wide receiver to the near side right, one to the far side left, I formation. And it will be a handoff to the deep back this time. Pick up out to about the 25. And it will be Ace LaFollette on the carry. Pick up about 5 yards on that one. So to bring up second down and about 5 yards to go.
Ace is a bright spot on both sides of the ball tonight.
Yeah, he really is. And he's doing very, very well with that ankle kind of still hampering him just a little bit.
And that's kind of the type of thing I was talking about. His ankle's hurting him. He wants to be out there.
Yep, there you go.
That's the kind of thing Coach Taylor's looking for.
Yep, absolutely. 2nd and 5 for Kewanee from the Boiler 25. They may not get this play off. Just did. And a handoff again to the deep back. And the Tigers are going to mob this right at the point of attack.
First hit by Steppo.
And I believe once again Ace LaFollette. Going to pick up about 2, so it's going to bring up third down and about 3 yards to go at the Boilermaker 27-yard line.
33.
Sherrard really sealing that play down, and of course by now they know who Mr. LaFollette is.
Yes.
Wides and slots, both sides from the shotgun. Isaiah Ince taking the snap, back to throw, looks to the left side. Here's the pressure, fires on the run, the ball up. It's going to be caught out there by LaFollette.
First down, I believe.
It is, and it's a darn near a jump ball. In fact, that ball was not far from being intercepted that time.
Oh, they called it incomplete.
Oh.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either. All right, going to bring up fourth down and about 3 from the Boilermaker 27. Of course, nothing to lose here by going for it, so let's see what happens. Now they're going to punt. Well, they're changing kickers as we go. LaFollette back. He's going to kick it off. Ball's going to take a bit of a boiler roll inside the 40. Big spin inside the 35. Ball's going to roll dead down at about the Sherrard 32-yard line. So, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 8:21 left here in the contest. 39-7, Sherrard up on the scoreboard. And just a matter of putting this one to rest.
You got to believe Sherrard's just going to run the ball straight ahead here now.
Yeah, with that running formation they've got, they do a nice job varying sometimes from the straight wishbone. Sometimes they'll work into the double wing, sometimes the single wing. But it is kind of basically a running style, whatever the variation might be. This time from the wishbone, from the Tiger 31. Snap and the handoff to the deep back, coming around to the left side here. Boilermakers really mobbing to the point of attack that time. Kiwani's defense doing a nice job of adjusting to the play. And the ball carrier that time is Harrison Curry, up to about the 34. And I think they're going to give him basically the 35, a pickup of 4 to be second down and 6 yards to go.
And I think Kiwani actually has some reserves in there now. A little playing time.
Well, it can't hurt, I wouldn't think. Second down, 6 to go for Sherrard as they use up the clock. And again, that running formation, it's the wishbone. It's an age-old formation. It's been used forever. It's very effective. Hand off to a deep back going off the right side that time. And the ball carrier is Wes Easley. Easley across the 35 up to about the 37, maybe the 38. And the Tigers are sprinkling in a few other players along the way. At the 38-yard line of Sherrard, it's going to be third down for the Tigers and about 3 yards to go. Clock hitting the 7-minute mark. And for Kiwani, Oswaldo Sanchez checking into the lineup. Setting down for the moment is Kanan Griffin. Again from the wishbone, third and about 3 for the Tigers. Penalty flags before the play is underway. And I just watched the official tap that left leg the way you had pointed out.
Really? Yeah.
So it's going to be against Sherrard, if I understand that correctly.
There you go.
How about that? You know, I've been watching football for 942 years now, and that's the first time I've noticed that, and I wouldn't have noticed that if you hadn't said that.
I happened to notice it before in this game. I was kind of watching it, and they were doing it every time. So,
you know, of course, you watched games for 941 years. So, big hole this time off to the left side for the Tigers. This is going to be a touchdown run all the way down the left side this time. It's going to go down that sideline to Harrison Curry, and that is going to be from the Tiger 33. So that would make it 67 yards down the left side. That'll take the score to 45-7 in favor of Sherrard. And with the thought that Halloween is not far away, I guess you could say that the Grim Reaper has stopped by early. Wow. You know, 45-7. They're going to go with the extra point so that if they hit it, it's still only 39, so no continuous clock. They do hit it.
Good.
And so 46-7. With 6.5 left here in this ball game. Well, the unfortunate truth is sometimes you just have those seasons.
Yeah.
And what makes it difficult for Boiler fans, as you know, Steve, they've had such a great run the last few years.
They have, and this is a down year with young kids, and you got to learn from it, improve from it. And the thing that's kind of doubly, hurtful tonight is it's homecoming, and you have to realize you're playing another 0-6 team. So, I mean, they haven't had much success here either. So, I mean, you got a ways to work back over the next couple of years.
Well, I would think that, as you mentioned a couple of times, for Coach Matt Taylor, you're looking to see who wants to play. You're looking to see who wants to come to work. You're looking to see who wants to come back with more resolve next year. And so, in a sense, the Boilermakers' strategy headed into the offseason here in a few weeks is really very simple, and that is you've got no place to go but up. Let's hit the weights. Let's get into this a little bit better. Let's maybe get into some summer camp type stuff, and let's tighten up a few things here and there. And I got to think that'll be the strategy. But in the meantime...
Well, and there's no lack of coaching points or things for him to say. He's going to have plenty of examples to get the young men's attention because there's things going on that you just don't normally see.
Another line drive kickoff going to bounce around. Down at about the 15. Damian Taylor to the left side out across the 20. Going to be dropped at about the 24. Great open field tackle that time by Harrison Curry. And Boilermakers will have field position at about the Kewanee 15-yard line. Well, I sure hate to keep spinning this song, but more and more people hitting the exits as we speak.
Yes.
Well, Boilermaker fans have been treated to good football, and this has got to be frustrating for them to watch, and credit goes that many of them have stayed as late as they have.
Well, unless you're one of the elite programs that just like Football Factories, almost all schools go through this.
Yes. From the 25, wide receivers on either side, I formation. Handoff left side, Ace LaFollette picks up 10, 15 to the far side, pushed out of bounds across the 40 at about the 43-yard line.
Nice run. It's just a secular thing, and Kewanee just happens to be on the downside of that cycle right now.
Well, I was doing some volleyball action the other night with Amanda, and she said in volleyball, well, it's kind of like riding the roller coaster. Sometimes the cart's up on top, and then it drops down, and then it comes back up again. Amanda Johnson, by the way.
Good way to describe it.
Does a great job with volleyball, I might say. She knows her stuff, let me tell you that. Wide receiver to the near side right. 1st and 10 for the Boilers from the Kewanee 41. Flanker coming down the line in motion. Carter Inslee. Hand off to the deep back this time. And I believe that was Lane Taylor back out there.
No, he's sitting over here.
Here he is. Okay.
I think it was LaFollette again.
Yeah, it was.
You wish you had everyone on this team with his attitude and his wanting to be out there and hit people.
At the Kewanee 48. Pick up that time of about 7. Yeah, a little over 6. I guess we're splitting yards at that point. At the 48, Boilermakers break huddle going to work. This time a slot man to the near side right. That'll be Carter Inslee. Pro set backfield. Toss sweep to the right side to LaFollette. Ball's going to be knocked out of his arms. It's loose on the floor, and I believe Sherrard has it. They do. That ball is going to be picked up that time by Javin Jones. And that's a case there where Ace had it out in his arms, and he just simply punched it away. And the Tigers will have it at the Sherrard 49-yard line.
Yeah, he couldn't see the guy coming at him from the side, and he did. He just punched it. That's kind of like something you see on Sundays.
Well, nobody more upset in the city of Kewanee right now than Ace LaFollette.
Right.
He's a warrior. He's a guy you want on your side. So, everybody to the line of scrimmage, and then it would appear that somebody has called a timeout. We're down to 5:09 in this ball game, 46-7 Sherrard. Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at the Tiger 49-yard line. Well, the homecoming festivities have been nothing short of spectacular here tonight. The band, the palms, the flags, everything just outstanding tonight. And unfortunately, the scoreboard does not match that, but outside of that, has been just wonderful homecoming festivities.
Kewanee has been known for years. They just do it upright. I mean, the band and, like you said, the festivities and everything that goes on around homecoming. Unfortunately, the football team's just not matching that this year, and that happens. I mean, you just have to deal with it and come back again next year.
At the Sherrard 49, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Again, they'll run from that wishbone formation. It's a double tight end with 3 running backs. The snap, the handoff to the deep back this time. Look out. This is trouble to the right side. Once again, out into the open field. They're going to bring him down at about the 19 as Wes Easley once again on the carry. And you talk about a touchdown-saving tackle by hanging onto somebody's shirt. And one of the Boilers down on the play afterwards.
You have a number of reserves out there on both sides now.
I think that was the tackler that was coming off the field now for the Boilers.
Number 12.
And that would be Camden Murray. He was the one with the touchdown saving tackle by hanging on to the shirt of Wes Easley. And if he doesn't do that, Easley scores.
And those are just basic plays they're running now, too. That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Tigers at the Boiler 23. It's 1st and 10. Clock moving at 4:40 here in the contest. And just a matter of wrapping this one up and getting out of Dodge. At the 23-yard line.
They're going to come straight at you again, guys.
Yeah, with that wishbone formation. Long count, there's a snap. Hands off to the deep back. They're going to try the left side, picking up 3 or 4. Nice job on the tackle that time by the Boilermakers as Malik Giab stepping in to get that tackle. And the line of scrimmage moving down to the Kewanee 20-yard line. And I think Sherrard almost has the appearance of, hey, let's just run as much clock as we can.
They're taking as much time as they can between plays.
Seal it down and move on to another day. 2nd down for the Tigers from the Kewanee 20. 2nd at about 6. Again from that wishbone. There's the snap, and it sure appeared that we had some people jumping around. But I don't see any flags. And, Steve, this is kind of interesting. Quinn Zimmerman, the starting quarterback, who played just a few plays, is now back out there once again.
You don't see that very often, especially in this situation.
Yeah.
Because basically it's a mop-up situation now.
Yeah. So 3rd down for the Tigers from the Boilermaker 18 as we approach the 3-minute mark here. And the Tigers will break huddle. Again, going with that powerhouse running formation, the wishbone. Remember the Oklahoma Sooners used to run that very, very effectively. Penalty flags flying on this one.
They jumped.
Yeah, you can see it. They were trying to anticipate the snap count and just came across just a little bit too early.
1st down.
And so the sticks will move. Tigers now down at the Boilermaker 13-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Kind of an offset wishbone here, almost a power I formation. Hand off to the deep back to the left side. Look out.
Nobody there.
It's a touchdown. And again, Wes Easley is going to get the carry. And that's going to be a 13-yard touchdown carry with 2:33 left in the contest. 46-7 is now the advantage.
Holding against Sherrard, the ball.
Oh, they called holding.
I wondered why. We kept looking at the scoreboard trying to figure out why the thing hadn't moved. And I guess that would explain it. Well, that's a big turn of events there. And really, not that we're rooting for the other side. I don't mean it like that. You feel bad for Wes Easley. He almost had a touchdown before that was stopped just short. And it looked like he had one there. So in his defense, that's kind of a tough one there. But in any event, 1st and 10 from the Boiler 24. And again, a handoff to Easley. Same play left side.
Nobody there again.
He's going to score this time from 24 yards out. And yes, nobody was there. Same play they ran a moment ago. And that was it. And the stadium is, it's almost like they're picking up the stadium and dumping the fans out now.
Yeah.
So that's 52-7. That'll be your continuous clock for the final 2:28. And I think they're going to go for the traditional kick. They've got a pretty good kicker with Landon Clark. He's missed a few, but overall shown a pretty good leg. And at this moment, I don't think they're going to get the play off. No, that should be delay a game. It was. And so they'll bring it back out 5 yards. We're down to 2:28 in the contest. Well, I was looking towards the clock and I missed something. 52-7.
What? I'm not sure what happened.
I don't know. I was looking at the scoreboard and I looked up and both teams are leaving the field.
And it looks like they're going to kick off. No.
Yeah. They didn't. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was looking at the scoreboard trying to do some quick calculating, and I looked back and both teams were leaving.
Delay of game was what it was. They should get to kick again, right?
Well, that was how I saw it.
It looks their kickoff teams are out there. That's strange.
Well, yeah, I don't know what to make of that one. Unless they just said, to heck with it. Let's just go ahead and kick off, let it go. But, we've watched ball for a long time. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
I haven't either.
And I'm not sure what it was that happened. So, 52-7. And again, a continuous clock for the final 2:28. We'll visit with Coach Matt Taylor after this one.
Not sure what Coach will have to say.
No, and again, as I say, I'm not sure what I'll have to say either. Kickoff here coming up from Corbin Devlin. And the Boilermakers are going to field it off to the left side. They've got a nice run going down that left sideline. And the Tigers will steal the ball from the running back. Boy, you talk about, for the Tigers, putting an exclamation point on things. As for the Boilermakers, Matthew Sutherland was the carrier. Had a nice run.
How did that even happen?
I don't know. It looked like he just over there, he got caught up on the sideline. He was kind of vertical, and they just ripped the ball out of his hands.
He had a very nice run.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to say that he was out of bounds when that happened, the way the Tigers reacted.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe they were just happy that their guy, somebody they wanted to make a tackle.
Yeah, maybe so, because by the way they reacted.
And they're going out there for defense, too.
It was the most unusual play, but what can you say? That was a whale of a run that time by Matthew Sutherland down that left sideline, all the way down to the Tiger 39. But with a continuous clock, very little time left for the Boilers to even try and...
There might be a couple plays left here.
Salvage something. Isaiah Ince remains at quarterback. Wide receivers either side. Slot man to the left. Single setback. And they're going to try the right side. Very little yardage here. Carter Inslee on the carry, but about 2, maybe 3 yards.
Under a minute.
So, depends how they play it. 1, maybe 2 more plays. Again, we'll visit with Coach Matt Taylor at the conclusion of this one. Line of scrimmage at the Tiger 36. One of the Boilermakers late getting out on the field to play. And look out, somebody's now coming off. Can he get off in time? He does. 2 receivers right, 2 to the far side left, single setback. And a handoff inside again. Carter Inslee straight ahead for about 1 yard, maybe 2.
James, that's it.
Down to the final 15 seconds, and 52-7 is going to be the final on this one. Not that interesting is the right word here, but Sherrard scores 26 points in the first half. They score 26 points in the second half. And that's going to do it as the Tigers have won this ball game by a final of 52-7. Well, again, we're going to visit with Coach Matt Taylor here in just a little bit. And unfortunate to say, the scoreboard really does kind of reflect what happened out here tonight, Steve.
It does. It's spot on with how things were going.
Well, I don't know that there's any point giving the Tiger scores. You certainly can if you wish. Like I say, they have 26 points in the first half, 26 in the second. Boilers had that nice touchdown pass in the first half, but in terms of scoring, those were the highlights.
I can just give it to you real quick. It was 26-7 at half. Third quarter with 1:15 at the 1:15 mark, 7-yard run made it 33-7. Then the fourth quarter is where it really got away, Bob. At the 12:11 mark, Clark had a 41-yard run. At 6:33, Curry had a 67-yard run. Then at 2:28, easily went in for a 24-yard one. He actually scored twice, but the second one counted. And that totals 52-7, 26 in both halves, and only 7 for the Boilers.
Well, and I know that Coach Matt Taylor's a very up-tempo kind of guy, a very positive thinker. But at a certain point, what do you say to the fellows that you haven't said before? What do you say that's going to maybe land on receptive ears?
Yeah, because, some of these kids, at some point they're going to tune out. And I don't mean that in a bad way or anything. It's just natural. Because they keep going out and working, and they keep seeing the same thing happen every week. So it's a tough situation all around for everybody.
Yeah, it really is. And, the kids are smart enough to know what the bottom line of reality is in that situation.
Yes.
So, you can't just throw the wool over their eyes, and certainly not suggesting that Coach would do that. But, again, I guess my question is, what sort of notations do you pull out of the notebook?
Well, you can't go out and say, hey, let's win these next 2 games. I don't think. You got to be realistic, and you get tired of hearing it as a player, looking for improvement, looking for kids that want to be here, looking for positive things. It's difficult. I mean, that's just, it's hard for us to know what to say. So what do you expect for Coach Taylor to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
To those
right.
young men, yeah.
Well, and it's not that Coach Frank, good to see you. Frank Toka, our venerable one up here doing the public address
Venerable,
announcing.
I like that.
Yeah. Venerable, yes. There you are, Frank. Good to see you. Well, Steve, not to make light of the situation as such, but as you and I know, we've traveled to many locations over the course of many years. We've seen many different teams in many different sports. And certainly while the game is at hand, that's the focus, no question about it. And yet, as you and I know, some of the friendships and the associations and some of those relationships that you develop along the way, that's where some of the really neat stuff can lie at the same time. And we consider a long-time friendship with a guy like Frank Toka. It's just always good to see him, and many guys like him along the way, and it kind of adds that extra flavor to things.
Well, and that's kind of the type of things that get you through a season like this, because it can only get better. You got the same great guys up here in the booth all the time, and we're here together, and you look forward to that. And I look forward to seeing Frank up here and talking to him whenever we're up here. And there's certain things you look forward to every year. You just hope for a very good product on the field, and it just doesn't always happen.
Well, in case you might have missed the announcement earlier, the homecoming queen is Azucena Cabada, and the king is Jaime Radilla. So those are our king and queens for the homecoming festivities. And, of course, the big dance will take place in the Brockman Gym tomorrow evening. But here on the football field, Sherrard
might have a few boys limping around.
Yeah,
I saw several injuries, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is the case, and you see a couple, 3 of them on crutches over there in the post-game huddle. But you kind of run out of things to say after a while.
Yeah, it's just.
So it's your turn to run out of things to say.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean, it's just. And I've been a Kewanee fan for a long time, so I don't mean to be negative or sound negative, but it really is the case right now where you and I as broadcasters have to be honest. I mean,
yeah.
It's a pretty bleak situation.
Yeah, it is. That's never our goal to do, trash and crash, but you also have to be honest with people. Because they know good football when they see it.
And they're going to know if we're kind of smoozing them over or what. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but, what are those guys talking about? That's, what I mean? So you got to be honest and just tell it like it is. Was that Howard Cosell?
Yeah.
Tell it.
Yeah. Speaking of sports.
And here comes Coach Taylor. So.
All right. Well, we'll see what Coach has to say about the matter. And get his perspective on things. Like I say, he's always a very bright and up-tempo guy, a positive thinker all the time. And
I'm going to take these off, Bob. He's on the way up the steps.
Okay, all right, that sounds good, Steve. Appreciate that. And we'll get perspective from Coach up here to see what he's got to say about the matter. Again, it's a tough one here tonight, no two ways about it. And we'll see what Coach maybe has to say, get his perspective on things as we kind of look ahead here as we get set for the final couple of games of the season. And again, Boilermaker head coach Matt Taylor, kind enough to join us tonight.
Yeah,
Coach,
thanks for having me, Bob.
Yeah, you bet, Coach. And, buddy, I wish we had more to talk about, but a tough one on the scoreboard tonight.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, it's a little bit more of the same that we've seen the first 7 weeks. And, we get a few things going. And I don't know how many times you can say it, but we don't play 4 quarters of football. We don't sustain, the positive things enough. And we just you got to play 11 guys to the ball, and we don't do that right now. So it's not like we haven't talked about it. It's just not getting done.
Yeah, that's I can certainly appreciate that. Well, Coach, we did have the one nice highlight drive on the touchdown, a nice pass, and Ace LaFollette did the classic thing, kept going to the point of the attack, going to where the ball was going, didn't give up. That was a very nice play.
Yeah, it was a nice play. It was it's an old school, everybody knows, it's a wheel route he ran. He ran a flat into a wheel. A lot of teams do it. And we could got the chance to extend the field a little bit. My hat's off to the quarterbacks, Isaiah and Lane. They both kind of double duty that. We practiced it a little bit this week in regards to getting some reps for a variety of reasons. Nothing against anybody in particular, but we removed each one of them after an interception. Not a big deal. But, Ace had nice to have him back on the field. He's threatening a little bit. Chris Crow took a shot in the leg. I don't have a final report on him. That's his medical information. We'll figure out what's going on with him for next week. But, I told the guys down at the end of the field, it's homecoming. You still gotta go enjoy yourself and have a good weekend. But nobody likes to look at the scoreboard like that. And but we, and I say we, and I'm responsible. It's on me and it's on the program, and I'm in charge of the program. So they can rest assured that I will stand there, talk about it, and take all the responsibility because that's my job. And they know they just have to play better for 4 quarters, and play. I'm waiting for them to kind of play together more for a longer extended period of time, because towards the second quarter, you guys saw it just as I did. We almost we gave them too many opportunities, some freebies, and that's unfortunate because we were doing some good things early, but then it kind of snowballed after that. So,
Coach, as you know, penalties and turnovers in any sport, it has to be a goal to, if not eliminate them, but trying to diminish them as much as possible.
Yeah.
And there were times tonight that your Boilers would kind of get a couple of plays going, and then a penalty or a turnover hurt.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing. How do you, and I know that you man up and you take responsibility for your team,
Yeah.
and I think all Boiler fans appreciate that in you, but yet at the same time, it does become incumbent on the players to take care of those things.
Yeah.
How do you flip that switch?
Yeah, well, young men at this level, they know within our discussions, within the the program rooms and the meetings and the film and stuff like that, they take the responsibility. And it does come a point in time where some of the things we're doing that are poor are obvious, and we definitely have to get better at some of the basics, if you will, some of the skill things that we're doing, or I should say technique. We talk to them all the time about technique, and we'll get back at the film again this week, and we'll hash it out again next week and show them where they can improve, because Kewanee football is not going away, and though the seniors would be gone next year, we still got progression to do for, years to come. So
You've got an awful lot of young guys on your roster.
Yeah, we have young guys. We're also thin. We had a couple guys banged up a little bit. We missed some guys that, weren't dressing tonight or didn't get to play the whole game. And we've had that throughout the year, but it was great to see, let's talk about a highlight. Aries Simmons was back on the field. It was great to see him with his buddies Oswaldo and Landon Weir, and Jesus Martinez had some good stuff, as well as Josh Jawante up front, that 5-man front tonight. And we had some tackles for loss on some of the schemes we did up front, which were good. But, the bend and break philosophy, didn't hold true. We broke too often, and that's the way it is, and we'll keep working to get better.
Coach, I might suggest that the biggest positive remains with this team, that despite the struggles on the scoreboard, I see no quit in these guys out on the field.
No, they're not. They're not quitting. Some of the big plays that we've given up this year just become large openings, and a lot of that is to do with someone not doing their job on every play, and we will spread that love of making mistakes all the way across from top to bottom, from me down to all the players. We just are making too many mistakes, and we're breaking too often versus bending.
Well, Coach, the big homecoming dance tomorrow, I'm just guessing you'll probably be there in some manner, maybe with your missus out for a nice evening. You'll get to see some of your guys tomorrow night. That'll be a wonderful event.
Yeah, we'll check up on them tomorrow with injuries and any, we got some guys that came off and got, thank you, Colton, our trainer. So we'll check up on them tomorrow, and the dance will be fun for all the guys, and I'm excited for them. That's one of the great things about being in high school, and we appreciate the sentiment in regards to their effort, because I talk to them often throughout the year, and if someone thinks you're not playing hard and you're quitting, that's the worst habit to have. Quitting is not something we stand for, and quitting on yourself or your teammates is something that we're definitely not advocating. You got to keep. Yeah, it'll build resilience, and 0-7, it's building some resilience on some guys right now. So
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Well, again, they haven't given up. That's the best news of all. Coach, always a pleasure to visit with you.
Yeah, thanks again for everything you and Mr. Osborne are doing, and appreciate it. And rest assured, we're going to get at it and finish up the year, and we're going to give it all we can to try to find a win out here.
Well, Coach, best wishes in the final 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Once again, that is our football head coach here, Coach Matt Taylor. Thanks, Coach, for coming. Appreciate it very much. And a tough one again on the board tonight, as 52-7 the final, as the Sherrard Tigers will pick up the victory here this evening. Well, let's go ahead and we'll give our booster live stream sponsors here as the birthday boy puts his headset back on. But once again, our booster live stream sponsors include the Mel Foster Company, Cerno's Bar and Grill, and Coco's Coffee Shop, both in downtown Kewanee. People's National Bank, Cernovich's Auto and Truck Wrecking at Kewanee, Edward Jones in downtown at Kewanee. Also by Martin Engineering of Neponset, Kewanee Physical Therapy and Rehab Specialist, the Community State Bank, Galva and Kewanee, Great Dane of Kewanee. Also, OSF St. Luke Medical Center of Kewanee, Gustafson Ford of Kewanee, State Bank of Toulon, Goods Furniture here in Kewanee, Union Federal Savings and Loan, Hammond Henry Hospital, Geneseo and Kewanee, the Ed Morris Automotive Group, Chevy and GM of Kewanee, and Breedlove Sporting Goods in downtown Kewanee. Oh, any final words?
Well, first of all great sponsors. I mean, that's we couldn't do this without them. I just feel for Coach Taylor after sitting here, listening to him, and you could tell he's down, but you would be. But he said it's my responsibility, and I'll keep going, and that's great to hear.
He's a stand-up guy.
Yes, he is.
Well, that's going to do it tonight from the Kewanee High School Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. We wish you had better news to pass along on the scoreboard. Again, Sherrard winning this one 52-7. Outside of that, we'd like to say that you certainly hope that you enjoyed the broadcast. And again, that's going to do it here from the Kewanee High School Football Stadium. For the birthday boy, Steve Osborne, I'm Bob McKee saying thanks for joining us here on this Friday evening. Folks, we'll look forward to seeing you the next time.